Don't do that. It's not.
It's warranted. Our judgment towards Jazz is warranted.
Is that how we starting today?
That's how we feeling. That's how we rocking it.
This is supposed to be like good vibe, good energy episode. Not no judgment. None of
I
that.
mean, you can be like Kai. I can be like, uh, you know,
I'm definitely not gonna
Bari.
be like Kai. No, we not doing that.
Why are you Bari?
I'm not. I just say in that situation we can be.
Nah.
I'm nobody in this movie.
That's true.
Well, I
That
could
is
be
true.
the guy that was the guy that was skating and fell and broke his arm. That's what I could be.
Is you clumsy like that?
No, because
I can see it.
Mm-mm.
I can definitely see it. Who would like to do the intro today?
I can. Hold on, I'm trying to get this. Hey, what's good? What's good, people? This your man Jason from the Was It Good Though podcast. We are here today with our host Jazz. How you doing today?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jazz. I'm doing well, and we are here with our second co-host, Christopoulos Day. How you doing today, sir?
Yeah, how you feeling?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well, man. We are here today with episode 38. We are doing one of, I feel like, probably the most romantic movie I've seen in quite some time, personally. Intergalactic. This was a Netflix special, and this is our second movie that we doing this month from Kenya Barris. Did y'all notice that?
I did. he was in this.
He was in it. He was. He should possibly stay in this bag, but I did see he was a creator, not a writer. So, maybe go stick with the creating part of it.
Don't write.
But let me not. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a treat for us. So I believe Jazz will be leading this episode for us.
Yes.
All right. So Jazz, I'm gonna turn this over to you.
All right. Thank you, Jason. But for everybody, if it's your first time listening, please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, all of that good stuff. And if you have not seen this film, please go check it out. Highly recommend it. And as Jason said, it is available on Netflix. And I believe it dropped last year. So
it did.
Yeah. And I also want to throw out an adult warning. If you've seen this film, you know there are adult scenes and adult language and adult conversations. So since the movie is going to have those, our discussion will have those as well. All right, Intergalactic. So going into this movie, I had no idea what it was about. I didn't know what I was going into. I saw people talk about it, but I was just like, oh, let me just check it out. An animated Black movie. That sounds like my vibe. And it's Black History Month. And we're going to end it with this film. So I was just like, pretty good to close it out the month. What did y'all think of the animation and the introduction before we actually are introduced to our main character of like getting the art of what the movie and then just like the different artifacts? Like, how did y'all feel about that? Because that element was used a lot throughout the film. So in the introduction, like, how did y'all feel?
I enjoyed the set pieces that they had. I love the way they used the art, the way they used the music, the album that was created for the project, and just how it played throughout. It definitely put me in the mind of Into the Spider-Verse. That's what I was telling people. It reminded me of before I ever watched it. I was like, it does. But when you watch it, the way they move was, I'm gonna say it's weird, but it's different. And I thought I was tripping because I was definitely with God when I was watching this movie. So I thought it was me, but that's just how the animation was. What about you, Chris?
So you were high?
I just said I was with God, so I didn't say anything about anything.
I mean, Jazz gave the adult warning, so I feel like you could say you was high, but it's cool.
It was that I was with God. I was like, you wasn't gone, was you, Jason? Like life support, vegetable state? Is everything okay? Blink twice if you need help.
Nah, I love the art style. It definitely reminded me of Into the Spider-Verse, and it was like very unique. I like the way that they used he was, they were artists in the film, so I like the way they used the art and set pieces, like animated and like how they moved and everything, especially Mr. Rager, who Jason actually named himself after. But yeah, I thought that was really dope.
Yeah, and it was funny because as we leave the introduction, we are seeing somebody is smoking a blunt on top of a roof. and we hear a "bring your ass down here," and I was just like, "Uh-oh, what's going on?" We are in New York, so yeah. So we're introduced to our main character. I'm not gonna say his name yet. I'm not gonna say it till it is said in the film. And it's funny because with our main characters, we don't hear their names immediately at the beginning. We see them before their names are mentioned. And so our male character, he has movers moving into his new studio apartment. And he gave me good vibes because the fact that he had movers and he tipped the movers. And the mover was just like, "Yo, he gave us a tip." And he's like, "You're a really good guy." And then there's not that many people around. Again, they're in New York. And his windshield is damaged and somebody is yelling at him, the mover. So it was just like, yeah, New York vibes for sure. But so it was just one last piece that the main character had to take upstairs to his studio apartment. And then we switched to another scene of the female lead. She's in her apartment and she's drinking a cup that says "no photos, please." And it's funny because she had a camera around her chest. And I was just like, "Oh, I see what y'all did. Okay, that's pretty dope." And so it seems like she's also in the building as well, and they cross paths. And it's funny because they cross paths a lot before actually meeting each other.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty good, that exchange. And they didn't make eye contact until like later on in the movie. And so our main character, he's in his place and he's just looking around. So let me ask y'all this, since it seems like, new studio apartment, it's just you. Do y'all remember the feeling that y'all got when y'all moved into y'all first apartment, or a space to where it was just yours and it wasn't occupied with anybody else?
No. I went out of my father's house into a relationship, and then we got a place. So it was, and then afterwards I had children. So it wasn't I've never, never truly had that space to myself like that, to be able to bask in it like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's actually I don't know, it's like a sense of freedom, but also a sense of like, dang, like this is all mine. Cause like that whole responsibility cloud just hangs over your head immediately. And it's mad empty when you first start out. Like you ain't got no furniture. So, but it was cool.
Yeah, when you see those memes where it's like moving into your first crib and you see the blow up bed and the TV is on like a plastic bin, I was just like, whew, that hit close to home for 2 weeks. Then I was like, yeah, we got to switch this up. What were you about to say, Jason?
That the statue that he was taking up, it was one of the abate. I think I can't think of it's KAWS. I can't think of what that actually stands for. But that statue, would you take a gander at how much it costs, Jazz?
Since I'm not familiar, $754.
$754, what, like $754?
Yeah.
Okay, price is wrong.
Hey,
It's going for like, I seen one, it was like going for like 250,000, like the statue.
So a
So
house.
it was, I mean, the people, they've put so much value into the Bape brand. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I'm gonna hand it back to you.
I didn't know what that was he was carrying. I was just like, oh, that
A
looked
lot,
heavy.
a lot of pieces in here are super like fashionable name brand things, like super large, like they they typically sell things, they sell a limited amount, people have to go and get it, and so when you got it, it's a thing. And that statue is that's a very prized possession if you have one. So
That's why he reacted the way when female lead was just like, oh, nice bear. He was like, it's not a bear. When I saw that scene, I was just like, I guess it's supposed to be a value of something, but I was just like, maybe they'll explain it later in the film. They didn't, but shout out to you, Jason, for explaining that. Thank you. And so our male lead he gets on his bike and he's just riding through the streets. And, he went to go get some food, Chinese food. He puts the bags on his bike handlebars. And then we hear Jabari. That is our character's name. His name is Jabari. And so a young lady was screaming out to him. And we come to find out who she was. And I love how this movie used illustration and art. because when you saw the scene of him looking towards her, you see the FedEx truck behind him, and then the truck leaves, and then it says X. It's still on the screen, and then you have the that's inserted. And I was just like, oh, this is about to get messy. What did y'all think of the exchange between Jabari and Carmen?
I so he clearly wasn't over her yet, but it was just like, I don't know, because I knew she wasn't the main lead, and I also figured I didn't know, like, I didn't really, I think I saw the trailer mad long ago, but I'm really almost coming in blind. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know about this one. You could just tell it wasn't going to work out. And then we, like Jazz said, we saw the main love interest. They hadn't even crossed paths yet. So I was curious to see how they was going to take that route there. But I was just like, he's smitten already. And his noodles, like the way his noodles flipped up, I was just like, bro, you got to focus.
No, she knocked him out. She knocked him off his pivot, man. I mean, it was interesting to see. And then they kind of explained it a little bit more as we go into him talking with his friends when he gets back to his apartment, how long it's been since they talked. So you get why the interaction was the way it was. And like I said, with that being the last ex, I don't know if they really explain why they broke up, but
no.
As the relationship progresses through the movie, you can kind of see why they were definitely in different positions. You know what I'm saying? Like where she was prior to where she was when he met her. So he was just like, yeah, you know, who is this person that I'm talking to now? Because this ain't who it was when we were dating, when we started dating. So it's like she adjusted herself.
Right. And then she basically, because he tells her that he moved to Manhattan, so he's just down the street. And so she was just like, oh, okay, maybe we can go grab drinks. If I bump into my ex out in the street, no. Y'all already know I'm not speaking anyway.
But time out. Is it an ex, like a high school ex, a college ex, or is it the last ex? Because the situation can play different.
All of the above.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, I keep the same energy for everybody.
Okay, I mean, you know, I'm just saying. Sometimes the last one, maybe, you know, last person, you may be like, you know what, I might.
Oh, that's what Jabari did, but we gonna get there.
Yeah, and you know, I like that they did label these episodes or chapters.
They did this one,
the dog whistle.
Yeah, chapter 1.
Yeah, and Ty Dolla $ign, who plays Kai, he explains what the dog whistle was. He was basically saying when men come up, or I feel like when people come up, people begin to come back and they start to try to bite again. So,
I mean, it's equivalent to when you drop a nice fresh thirst trap on the socials, and then folks just come out of nowhere, and it's just like, oh, I always was feeling you. I thought we had good energy, and it's just like, no, that was never there. But how did y'all feel like the exchange with Jabari and Jimmy and Kai? And they're just letting him know, like, you don't need to try to get back with her. You single, you got a bunch of positive things going on around you. And they were just like trying to give him ideas of how he should decorate his new studio apartment. Do y'all feel like they were somewhat toxic friends or trying to look out for his best interests without knowing any context as to why him and Carmen broke up?
I mean, I feel like they was trying to look out for his best interest, because remember when he saw her, Mr. Rager was, you know, the animated his artwork, he was just like, nah. So I knew, you know, they clearly had his best interest in mind. And even though we didn't know why they broke up, they definitely didn't need to be together. So I thought they was good. They were good friends. They tell it like it is, especially Ty Dolla $ign. I like them. So
yeah, they were unique. They were definitely unique friends in what he should do with the house. Of course, Ty Dolla $ign, Kai character was super close to what he portrays publicly. And of course, Jimmy's character, for how he was in the movie, he, you know, do a grow house in here, smoke, we could go kick it. And obviously he didn't like either advice. He just went to sleep.
Jimmy reminded me of Rory.
A little bit. I can see that. I can see that. Get the
soon
little dog.
But when I first saw this, I was just like, he reminded me of Rory so much. But like Jason, like you mentioned, he fell asleep. And so he's out on his balcony, which was so fire. Like his studio apartment was nice. And he sees a couple out walking the street. And then did you guys notice the illustrations of the dating app that was mentioned throughout the movie.
Stush.
Yes. So it was brought up a few times. But definitely you saw some artwork. Well, I guess like a promotion as he was looking out the window of that couple. You saw that. And then it was also a promotion on the TV as well. So I was just like, oh, y'all pushing this online dating a lot in this. But realistically, I feel like low key the movie was not agreeing with it, or just like organic is the better way. But
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that thought. I was trying to figure out what the comparison was. I've watched other cartoons like Rick and Morty. They have there was a dating app they had on there, and it would match you perfectly with the person you wanted, but it kept matching you frequently with different people over and over. And like, yeah, it was kind of crazy how they had to crash the app. But yeah.
Yeah, but Jabari's out on the deck, and then he's going through Carmen's Instagram, because folks just go through the Instagram and she's like, should I message them? Should I not? And I like the fact that the creativity of like her Abby coming to life. She's just like, you want to. You know how scary that would be if I'm scrolling through a past lessons Instagram and they just come to life on my phone, like, you want to send that message.
A past lesson.
Past lesson. Yeah,
Hey,
it's time to close the app for real. Because you just
uninstall it. But so he sends her a message, and I believe the next scene is we have that they actually link up. And so Carmen is already at the bar that they're meeting up at, and then Jabari is outside and he's going inside. And it's funny because our female lead and another associate leaves out of that same bar. Jabari looks down to where he doesn't even see her really, but they just passing through again. Don't make eye contact or nothing. So I thought that was definitely funny on my rewatch of this movie. And so they're drinking wine. She's ordering his drink. He's ordering hers. And it's just like, okay, y'all really gonna try to get back together? We're gonna get a backstory as to why y'all broke up. And he was just like, how he kind of described her when she orders her drinks made it seem like she was very structured. Like, you're gonna order all these white wines and you're not gonna like none of them, but that's a part of your process. And she was just like, go ahead, Jason.
I don't know if I got structured. I got she was indecisive. That's what I got from this situation. Because he said she orders 4 different wines. You're not gonna like them, but that's just because it's just like you don't like. And she was like, "That's not who I am no more. Just pick one, and I'm gonna be okay with whatever you pick." So it's like that's what I gathered from that.
Right. Yeah, but so she was just like, Carmen 2.0. I'm brand new.
Sure, you are. Sure. Nothing ever changes. They may, be a little bit more mature in some ways, but sure.
You never know. She might have just was like, you know what? After that breakup,
but you don't spin the block, so I mean, we ain't got to worry about that part, right? Exactly.
So the next part, so they go out and celebrate because Jabari got a new job, and Mr. Rager is he's going to be in a comic book. Was it a comic book, or it was going to be an animated series?
It was a comic book.
Comic book. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they're out celebrating, and Carmen's like, yeah, we should just go get shots. Jabari's like, let's get 2 tequila shots. Carmen was like, let's get 6. Bitch, is you trying to die? Like, what? When I saw this scene, first off, anytime somebody is ordering tequila shots, you already know it's going to be a wild night. Like, when y'all saw them out and about drinking and having a good time, like, what did y'all think was going to happen after this?
The women go get in the system.
Pretty much. I thought he was going to make a mistake. I was waiting for him, but I like how they did it where he wasn't seeing the ex. So he was still in that delusional state where he hasn't really found what he's really looking for. So I didn't know what was going to happen, but I feel like I felt like they was going to sleep together, but they was going to regret it. But outside of the story, telling.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Within it, but I thought they were going to do that. But like you said, instant regret, of course, when it actually happened. So, well, he really, honestly, he seen all the red flags that night because when they left, she walking out, take a picture, and that was one of my biggest pet peeves in my last relationship. Like taking 100 pictures, like. But at the end of the day, you have to take yourself out of it because it's not about you. It's about what they fucking want. But yeah.
I recently had a conversation with a friend that was just like, if he's out with a woman, not nobody, they're just dating, but they're not serious. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not gonna put him on blast like that. But he was like, he hates.
Put him on blast. Who he be sending this out to his women or something, or his woman? Let me be careful in what I'm saying. He may be married today. I don't know.
So he hates taking pictures. Anytime it's like a woman he's out on a date with, she's like, "Oh, take my picture real quick." He hates it. So that's just like men just hate doing that. That's just like across the board. I'm
not gonna say every man, but I know how I used to feel. It used to be like come on, like I don't want to do this. Like you, and it's not that I don't want to take the picture. It's that you don't like the picture that I took, so I have to take 10 more of the same picture. You didn't change nothing. You posed and fix, and after you find the one of the 10 that you like, you need 10 more of the new pose that you got. It's just like, oh my god.
But Jason, how many conversations have we had where knowing your angles is important?
I don't give a darn about them angles. I like I said, we take a picture, I'm getting it, boom, I'm gonna get 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna settle with what I got in this situation. We done with it. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But I'm new to Instagram. So a lot of that wasn't something I really focused on, like angles, pictures, stuff like that. If I just don't like the picture shit, I just ain't got a picture. It is what it is.
What you think, Chris?
Nah, I mean, the whole picture taking thing is just par for the course sometimes. But I thought it was crazy because didn't she say it was for her profile?
It's for her stush profile.
Like, no, like he definitely tripping at that point. So
wait, how? They're both single.
So
you can't take a picture because it's for her.
No, and the only reason she said that because after that she said because I'm single. Like she was throwing out the signal like, hey, I want us to get back together, but don't ask me to take a picture for your profile. Like if you use it for your profile, that's one thing, but don't tell me you're using it for your profile.
Is it because she's an ex?
I don't care what she is. But
so if your female friend asked you to take her picture, you wouldn't take it if it was for her profile on a data app?
Well, they weren't friends. If it was a friend,
he said if it was a friend, it's different. You never took a picture.
Friend is different.
No, but he said it don't matter who it is. So I was just trying to get clarification because I was just like, damn, one of your homegirls can't be like, Chris, take this picture.
No. I'm saying in regards to their dynamic, and she was talking about it going on her dating profile.
Like, okay.
So probably not. Be ever had to verify some OnlyFans pictures before? Like to make sure before they post them on OnlyFans? Make sure they're good?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Oh, okay. I have.
And Jason wonder why he be in trouble.
Right.
I'm living at this point. I'm living my truth. I don't care no more. It is what it is. Because people out here can't be transparent. That's the whole point of this movie. You got to be honest out here. Sick of y'all.
Right.
Tell us who are you talking to?
Tell everybody. Put your OnlyFans. Now you know what.
Do not leave that on our comments. Go directly to Jason's Instagram.
Exactly. DM him specifically.
But if you are a male that goes to the gym and my DMs are open. So
like you know what? Jazz sent me a text this morning, Chris. Because you just showing me, people enjoying the podcast. And her background is freaking Jonathan Majors naked. And I'm just like, why did you show me this?
Was it shirtless Jonathan Majors?
That nigga was naked. I said naked.
Okay. I mean,
she got enough for him where he don't look like he got on no clothes. I wasn't ready for this big naked man on my phone at 6 o'clock in the morning.
She was just trying to send you the pod content.
That's it. I was trying to show you reviews.
Man, I was like, hold on. This is not what I'm signing up for.
The comments.
I'm like, I said, man, what is this?
Chris, Jason probably hated every comment. Like, I'm still looking at this man's body because it was like,
he skimmed through it.
He looking like a Restlo shiny baby oiled up all in the water. Jazz horny, man.
Yeah.
Hey man.
No, shut up, Chris. Don't even say that after that.
I'm chilling. I ain't saying nothing.
So back to the movie. So Jabari wakes up at Carmen's house. He hears her on the phone. he already looking like it was not worth it. So I wasn't a fan of Carmen. Carmen was like, she was doing the most. Like, why are you handing your phone with your mom on it, trying to talk to your ex? Like,
bruh, she put him in that predicament to kind of make him, you know, it's a play, it's a ploy, you know what I'm saying? Like to manipulate you into doing something. It's just like, I would have been like, man, look, nah, I ain't.
Sorry,
bump that Chris in it.
Because she even did the same thing when she was like, "Cause I'm single." Like you could tell her, like, what she going for that whole time anyway. I'm just like,
it's like she was doing stuff to try to get him back, but she was doing it completely wrong. And sis, if he wanted that, I'm sure he knows how to communicate that with you. But she was just doing the most, and she goes into the shower. She just like, if you want to come in, come on. He was like, yo, I gotta get out of here.
Man, she was ready for the whole relationship life all over. Like, that was a good night.
And did y'all see she kissed him when he woke up? I know his breath was funky. Like, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the morning kisses personally, but you know sometimes
yeah.
But so when I saw the scene when she was in the shower and she came back out because she thought he had left, would y'all have left? Or would y'all have waited till she got out to talk?
I wouldn't. I'm as crazy as I am. I'm not gonna just leave a person's house without letting them know that I'm leaving. So no, I wouldn't have left.
Yeah, he ain't seem like that type of guy. Plus, if you notice, they were still following each other on IG, so he would have had to go through too many steps when he could have just had a conversation. He would have had to block her on IG, block her on other social media. It's just.
Oh, that take 5 minutes.
Look at Jazz. I know the math, nigga. It ain't gonna take long.
5 is being generous.
He blocked before he get out the door, actually.
Anyway, so Jabari basically tells her he just feels like last night was a mistake. And Carmen's like
words.
So I didn't feel bad of how he delivered this, but I was just like, dang. Because she just, like, how she was behaving was just too much. And he was just like, yeah, I can't do this right now. Like, I got too much stuff on my plate. And in a relationship is not his focus. But he was like, we could be friends. And how many times have I told y'all situations we can just be friends? Like, we ain't got to be nothing else more than friends. The friend zone is fine. It is a fine place to be.
You see,
Trey. We see Trey songs. I get it.
See how that worked out for Carmen, right? Like, nah, that ain't. Nah.
She.
If you want more though, it's a wrap. It's wraps with the friend zone.
Yeah.
But see, the friend zone never expires.
It don't, because I see niggas moving out. I see niggas moving out the friend zone. You know
all
what?
I'm
getting personal. Hold up. Let me go back.
Bring it back.
See niggas moving out the friend zone. Fuck out of here. Come on. Let me chill out.
But exactly. So, but I do appreciate his transparency with her. Mm-hmm. He was just like not trying to lead her on. He's just being upfront. And she was just like, so you staying or you leaving? He was like, oh yeah, I'm out of here. Since you ain't got no lighter, I gotta smoke. Like, I gotta go. And so, excuse me. He leaves and he's on his bike. And I think this is our first real scene where it's just a character is going through so many different visuals. Like, I love the art in this movie and I love the music that, like we mentioned earlier, it was just so creative, and I would have loved to see this in theaters. This would have been an amazing movie to see in theaters because just the artistic graphics and animations.
I'm not into 3D, but I would pay to see this one in 3D though.
I would ask your opinion, and if it felt like a 3D movie, and then if you was like, yeah, then I might go see it in 3D.
It seemed like it.
Yeah, I know how I feel about 3D films.
It would have been cool to see in the theater, but this is actually supposed to be a series, because obviously with the chapters, that was going to break it up into different episodes, like short episodes. So, but that would have been cool to see it in movies, and I don't know how much more they would have fleshed it out, maybe, because this wasn't a long movie.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them, going to a different story, possibly doing something completely different, like off the rip. Yeah, the different person, like a whole new, they're not even attached to Jabari
Yeah.
character at all.
That'd been dope too.
Yeah, it would have been. Maybe Kenya will bring us something that he didn't write, like a part two. But and during that scene, it breaks back into reality for them, and Jabari is almost hit by a taxi, and the taxi driver is cussing at him, and then we see who's in the taxi, our female lead, crossing paths again. This is the third time, and so she's just telling him, like, the taxi driver, like, calm down, let's just get there safely. So like her personality and demeanor just seemed real chill and low key. I was definitely enjoying her vibes, and as we got to meet her really as the movie went on. And so that was the end of that chapter. Now we are on to chapter 2, Bright Light and White. So for this scene, we see our female lead. We don't know her name yet, and we see what she's doing, because the first chapter started with Jabari, but now we see what our female lead is doing, and she is a photographer. She's burning her sage, she's getting her music, she rolled her blunt, and I was just watching this scene. I was just like, that is peace.
I'm jealous. I was jealous as hell. I was jealous as hell. Like, she's sitting there, she going through her records, bro. I'm like, man, this is amazing. I pulled the record. I had to pull the record up. I'm like, is this how it look for real? Like, I'm like, hey. Yeah, this whole movie was a vibe. I'm in my feelings the entire time watching it. Sorry.
No, don't apologize, because I was the same way. I was just like, this just seems so peaceful. And then we see she goes into her photo room, got her pictures and everything. So I was just like, okay, so he draws and she does photography. And I was just like, I need them to come together. Like, the energy needs to come through. And so we go to Jabari and the crew. How did y'all feel about this montage? Because I think this montage was like a solid maybe 10 to 15 minutes of Jabari out in the streets with his homeboys. Yeah. They smoking and drinking, and then they eat an edible. And I was like, oh, y'all about to get lit. Like, how did y'all feel about this scene?
I love how they transitioned from her to them, because she was as she lit her blunt, they were like, stay off the weed. and it goes into them. And like you said, they eating. I didn't know what they was. I was like, are these shrooms? Like, but we know it wasn't. Well, they showed the shrooms explicitly at some point in the movie. But it was just like that entire night seemed like a vibe. So like, if this is what New York is like, I can see where the hype would possibly be at, because every part they went to was like almost like not an exclusive thing. You have to go and find it, like an underground hidden type thing. So.
Nah, that was definitely dope. And I like you said, the whole animation and everything, Into the Spider-Verse, you had moments like that too. I like the way they did that and everything like that. But I think it was funny because it was a certain point where I think he was talking to a girl, and then Ty Dolla came over and like took the girl, and I was just and he was just like, oh, whatever. So you can see he was in that carefree mode too. So I thought that was a nice switch up that you had his personality for both of them.
Let me ask y'all this, and you don't have to answer, but have y'all had a night similar to this? Maybe not as much drugs, a little less, but to where you and some friends like went out and just hopped around different spots, to where you didn't check what time it was. You was like, we still vibing, we going all night. Have y'all ever had like a night like that before?
I truly can't say. Like, I want it. I want that. I've been looking for this to happen, but it truly hasn't. Like, I feel like when I went to Houston the last time, a lot of that went on. Like, we were just going to different places. But I can't really recall where I just went somewhere, because I want to be able to just go somewhere. But it's typical like of a place like this, because in New York, everything pretty much walking distance. So it's a lot of time like a lot close. I'm in the South, so a lot of stuff here you got to drive to these places, and you fit have to book it when you get to these. You're not just bouncing around. I do feel like when we went to our trip, when we linked up for the Charlotte thing, it was almost kind of like similar, but it wasn't to the full effect of this.
Yeah, DC like that. You got like U Street in downtown, certain places like that. So you could probably get that same vibe.
Have you gotten that vibe before, Chris?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. It was
That's okay.
Yeah, but I don't need like he was going like way different. Yeah, so I ain't gonna say it was that much, but but we had a couple spots, and then we was at the house like a certain time. So yeah,
I'll say I think I did that last year. Me and my homeboy went to like start on the rooftop, went to a bar, went to a spot that had like outdoor bars, went to a like a hookah lounge, like multiple places. And I was just like, damn, it's 4 o'clock. All right, so I need to go home because I was just like, I'm tired as hell. But I think like this scene was so cool because especially if it's just you and a bunch of friends and y'all just going to different places and you just, ain't nothing planned. Like, all right, so we going to this area, it's probably popping. We gonna go over here, it's probably popping. So hopefully the Charlotte group, we can get a trip at one point. Probably not. But yeah. So then we see Jabari is at work, hungover, and he's just done. But looking at all the different drugs and drinks they was having. Yeah. And I'm curious, like, did they do all of that on a Saturday night? So he was still hungover Monday? Been there before, but it's definitely not a good place to be.
Man, I don't know when he was doing all that kicking it like he was. It felt like it was just a regular weekday the way he was doing it.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we're at his job, and then we are introduced to Lynn, my bro. What's going on, my bro? What did y'all think of Lynn?
Whack. Man, whack. He's super whack. Trying to, I guess I don't know if it was like a jealousy thing or is it just like a, the people that be on the job that feel like they know everything. They know the lay of the land and you should do it this way because this way isn't going to work and And he, kind of try to dim his light to a certain extent.
Right.
That's pretty much what it is. I ain't like him either though. Especially when he was like, I forgot what he said. He said something to the effect like, I'm Puerto Rican or like, it was something that he said. And then he was trying to do the fist. The animation was dope because he tried to fist bump him and Barry like left him hanging. And you can see him like just look down. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but just little subtle movements like that was real dope. But no, I wasn't a fan.
Yeah. I think Mr. Ray just shot himself in the head, right?
Yeah.
He did. Because he was basically trying to say, like, Mr. Rager, you need to scale it down a bit.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of energy is in this office that this company is using. And then Jabari was just like, nah, they know who Mr. Rager was. If they didn't, then they wouldn't have brought me on. And he was like, he brought him a worry plant. I'm not accepting a worry plant from nobody new in my life. Because then I'm just like, so wait, you trying to, like, that's like somebody saying, oh, let me give you a stress plant or anxiety plant. Damn, I don't need to be reminded of these terrible feelings. Like, it was just, he definitely gave me hater vibes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to, I guess, because he even mentioned, like, I started here when I was an intern, then I moved up to this, and this, to where it's just like, I've been here longer, so I know the ropes.
Right.
And like, I've been in positions where certain people give off that energy, and you got to be very weary of those folks, because those are the ones that will do whatever they can to try to knock you down, especially to try to make you look bad in front of upper management or like different opportunities. But Lynn was definitely a hater. And so we get a time lapse of Jabari in the office. Mm-hmm. The worry plant is growing, which this shit reminded me of Little Shop of Horror, because I'm like, is he gonna start talking about feed me? Because this was in a one day. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, this plant growing, like he ain't even watered it. So, but it also represented, like, obviously Jabari was worried.
Right.
So I thought that connection was pretty dope. And so he's over here trying to get different artwork and illustrations down of Mr. Rager. And then he has a dream or nightmare. I know a nightmare a mile away. I had him shits too often. So I was just like, yo, this scene was crazy. What did y'all think about this nightmare he was having? And then the colors that were used during this scene?
That's what I was gonna say. The colors was like crazy. And then every transition, and it was just like, Mr. Rager, but that other, whatever that other big thing was, I don't know, but
I think it was Mr. Rager versus Mr. Rager.
Yeah, but it was just the way he changed up.
It was like watered down version.
Okay.
It was the bright light, like white, right. And that was Keith David, right? That was his voice.
It was.
Yeah, he always.
I didn't know until I looked it up. Yeah, that's Keith David.
But it reminded me of Spy versus Spy on Mad TV. Y'all remember that?
Yes, of course. Chris, you don't remember? Man,
I remember Mad TV. I don't recall that.
Spy versus Spy. Oh yeah, Spy versus Spy. They were kind of like the rated R version of Tom and Jerry. They used to always fight each other and kill each other. Like it always ended with one of them killing the other one at the end of the episode.
And it was like maybe a minute to a minute
Yeah.
and a half. It was so short. And I used to be like, y'all need to make this longer. But I'm sure if I go back and look at it, I'm be like, nah, this shit definitely need to be 90 seconds.
Probably.
Maybe nostalgia.
Right. And so I thought this dream was crazy because it was just so much stuff going on. And like, I think we've had conversations about this before, but do y'all dream? And if so, do you remember your dreams?
Yeah, I dream. I don't always remember like every one, or if it's like sometimes you have them like story like dreams almost.
Right.
Jasmine talking about, or it'd be like a dream where something had happened and then something completely unrelated happened. Sometimes I remember those, but then you have other dreams I don't remember like everything. The worst is when you have a dream and then you wake up right away and you don't remember the dream, but you know you had a dream. Yeah, that's.
I don't dream often. A lot when I do dream, they typically be deja vus, like whenever it does happen. So that'd be weird. I wonder what that'd be about.
We'll get somebody on that to find out for you. Me.
And then
And
then like the last dream I did have, like it felt very real. I was I think I told you about that. I was fighting an alligator. It was like I got into a fight with an alligator. I was at the beach and I was, fighting him. And he was tearing my leg up and I was kicking. I woke up, I'm kicking the hell out of my table. I'm like, oh, I don't know what they hurt. I'm like, oh, I'm here just kicking my table. The next night I dreamt about that alligator again. I was like, I'm tired. I can't fight. And we just laid together and watched the sunset.
What the hell? Wait, what? What was you? I don't think you told this. Nah, I would still be clowning on that one.
Yeah, man. I couldn't fight no more. I had no fight in me. I thought he wanted to fight again. I'm like, bro, we can't do this.
What was the alligator in your life? Like, what's going on?
That's a good question.
Yeah, probably baby mama. I don't know.
I mean, that would be, that would make some sense.
Yeah, kind of stop fighting her and just embrace the ignoramus. But yeah,
Just peace. Just want peace.
Yeah, I ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me.
But I asked y'all this just to ask y'all, have y'all ever had a dream to where you were being chased by something? Because I know, like for me, I dream every night. I've said that on this pod before. And so the dreams that normally have me so scared are the dreams where I'm being chased by something. I've had dreams of being chased by zombies, some type of animal, some type of anything, something random. And I hate being chased by anything. And so like when I saw this scene, I was scared for him. I was like, yo, that's like your creation is following you, trying to like harm you, and you just running for your life, riding your bike. But yeah, I was like, damn. But I definitely love the colors of everything that was done in this scene. Did y'all want to add anything else to this dream?
No. I thought it was funny. It wasn't a dream, but it was funny when Jabari was talking to Jimmy when he was he told me to get a Turkish bath.
Oh yeah.
He was getting a massage. He was like, no, and the guy giving the massage like no cameras, no videos, and he started beating him with whatever it was. It looked like a stick. I mean, like a
leaf.
I don't know,
like
a leaf. Yeah, like a leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was beating the heck out of Jimmy up in there.
Yeah, it's called a recommendation. Or something like that. Dude wasn't feeling it, but Jabari is back at home. He's chilling. He's smoking. He's just relaxing, and then we have a scene where he's in the bed and we hear music. It's 3:00 in the morning. He can't go back to sleep. His neighbor has music going crazy. I completely understand. It's just like, bruh, this is that. But it wasn't during the week, so I think it was a Friday. But still,
it may have been Saturday actually.
He said Friday night when he
said Friday.
Okay. But
so he was kicked. So we know he was kicking it on Thursday. If that's the fact, if he went home and tried to get some sleep.
So
this is true. Oh, he wild. He was doing way too much for a weekday, but no judgment. So Jabari goes next door. He sees a bunch of people out in the hallway, and he's just like, my neighbor's having some type of party. This party looked wild because as you see Jabari walking in, there was a couple above him in like a rope net, and I don't know what they were doing. And I was just like, how did they get up there? Like, if you go back to that scene of Jabari going into
how many times you go back to that scene and look at them up there?
Well, I've rewatched this movie a couple of times, but I definitely paid attention to everything for this review.
I understand.
So
did you keep rewinding the scene? That's what he asked you.
I'm just like, I've seen the whole movie multiple times.
We talking about that scene. We ain't talking about nothing else.
Then no. If I've seen the scene 4 times, it's because I've seen the movie 4 times.
Okay, this okay. And I didn't know you watched that many times. That's dope.
I enjoyed this movie a lot.
I did too.
How many times you seen it?
Probably 4.
So more than Batman.
So what do you really enjoy?
To be fair, this movie is an hour and a half.
It is
4 hours long, so you know it's a little bit different kind of watch. I'm 3 times in Batman, so you know I'm basically. That's basically like 6 watches. If you think about it, that's like 9 hours of a movie.
Stop watching that movie, Jason.
Yeah, 9 hours of that movie.
But I was gonna ask y'all though, because Jabari got woke up by Drew Hill in my bed. The remix. So I have like 3 remix questions for y'all. You know, I've been doing this or that on my page, you know, but it's normally the original song versus the newer song, which I guarantee half the people that be voting ain't never heard the original song, and I hate y'all.
Okay, but time out.
And Chris.
No.
Chris,
SWV and Michael Jackson, human nature.
That was actually close. That was close. People,
I don't know why, because human nature.
Hey, so look, okay, so people, I need y'all to. I'm gonna put a poll on the pod page. It was on my page. I know what y'all feel. We're going to the pod page. Human Nature, Michael Jackson version or SWV version? Like which? Jazz, what you got?
I'm going Michael.
It's clearly Michael.
What's clear about that? Nothing's clear about that. I like the vibe more of the SWV, but I love the Michael version.
SWV's is good.
It's good, but it's human nature.
Like, all right, so but anyway, so we going to remixes of a song that got remixed, and we're gonna use "In My Bed." That was first. Which one y'all rocking with? "In My Bed" or the remix of "In My Bed"? Totally
I'm
different.
I'm gonna go for the original.
I was leaning towards the original.
Sad ass. I'm definitely going to the club version. I don't like the sad version. They got another song that's more sad, and it hits a lot more. It hits a lot worse because he asks a girl who's been in you instead of my bed. It's just like, wait, go back to the bed because that feels
like the bed may be a nap, but like you going too far.
All right, so the Promise original or the Promise remix. That's the one.
I feel like you know every answer I'm gonna give. I'm always gonna go on the sad side because that's the kind of stuff that I listen to.
It's more than one person here, so you know you can ask Chris as well.
Jagged Edge?
Yeah, the remix of Promise versus the regular.
The regular.
Are we both sad?
I get
that, but I just
the original of that song is so beautiful.
It's not. It's about settling. So we're not doing that today though. So do I gotta sing it again? Because we're talking about okay. You go back to the song. It's talking about settling. At least the one with Run DMC on it. It's a upbeat JD Jagged Edge. We kicking it at the club. Last song for Jasmine Gets Mad. Big Face.
I'm just sitting here like I listen to Boys to Men, Bending Knee, Yes, Cry.
I mean, but
that's I Want You Back music.
That's it because we did the right here versus the Human Nature already. So that was my 3. But okay, you see, I like the original. I like the originals. I mean, I guess the original version of the song, but remixes was a big thing back in the day. So you know, let's see what
remixes right too. Like it'd be a whole like they used to do them right.
It did. You know what pissed me off though? When the song is on the CD, but then the song that's released is a completely different version, and the one that was released sounds so much better. And that version is the one that sounds better is clean, and it's not on the album.
Some songs I like better clean. Not every song sounds good with cursing.
No, I agree, but I will say DMX How It's Going Down and DMX
Slipping.
No, I was gonna say What These Bitches Want. I want the dirty version of that with Cisco, like going in.
You never heard it?
When he was singing on the chorus, it's not on the album.
She's talking about the clean version of the song.
She doesn't want the clean. She doesn't want the clean.
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't. She like that song. She wants it original because it hit different. Like certain songs, if you censor it, it doesn't make sense. Like it just has to be.
That one does. I mean, I feel like that one did. What song?
No, I'm talking about. Okay, you have DMX has a release version of What These Bitches Want. It's clean, and Cisco is singing a lot more on the song.
Oh, okay.
But that version is clean. So if you listen to the clean version of that song and then you listen to the version that's on the CD, then you'll see the difference.
So like the ad libs and his runs and stuff.
I don't want to hear Cisco going in and then it's just like, what these you want? And I'm like, just say bitches. Like, so, and then like How It's Going Down, I want the version with Faith going in, but I want it as the non-clean version.
Yeah, I think because they had to do stuff with radio so much back in the day.
I
get it. Shout out to Beyonce because she definitely created a edited version, and the explicit version is a complete song the entire time with none of that blip in the song. So it's actual words being filled in that she changed. So shout out to her.
Yeah. All right. So even though we're not doing a music podcast, but this movie does have a lot of music in it. But that was a dope pivot, Jason.
Thank you.
That was dope. And so Jabari is walking through the house looking for the owner. And so some gentleman is just like, sir, what can we do for you? This is a private party. And Jabari's like, do you own this spot? And he was like, nah, but what you need? He's like, well, you ain't the person I need to talk to. I don't know why he felt the need to put his hands on Jabari.
Yeah.
But actually, I take that back because technically he was entering a private residence uninvited. Mm-hmm. So Jabari was kind of in the wrong, but he looked fine as an animated character. So I'm rooting for everybody Black for Black History Month. And so then we are introduced to our female lead. Jabari finally makes eye contact with Meadow. What did y'all think when we finally got to see Meadow and then Jabari's reaction to finally seeing Meadow?
It all made sense why they couldn't see each other first because he fell in love right away. He was just like,
love
at first sight.
Yeah, I believe in that. Love at first sight.
I believe in infatuation at first sight.
I believe in lust at first sight.
I believe in love at first fuck. So,
isn't that still infatuation? Like that's lust still.
I don't know.
Jason said, I don't care.
Believing in something you don't even know what it is.
Jason said feel good, so he's straight. That's all he needed. Right.
And so we meet Meadow, and she's just like,
"What's her name?"
Meadow.
Okay, you said that country as hell.
Coming from Jason.
Hey, yeah.
Say it, Jason.
Meadow.
Nah, because he's gonna try to be all private.
What's it? Meadow.
I gotta try to get you off guard. Don't worry.
Well, you gotta get him flustered.
Yeah, you gotta think about the pronunciation.
And so Jabari introduced himself. He's just like, I'm your neighbor. And then Meadow was just like, I'm so sorry. This party just got too crazy. And she was like, I'll turn the music down. And Jabari was like, nah, you good. Y'all go ahead. It's fine. Everything is forgiven. And I'm just like, man, you came in there all amped up like, yo, y'all need to turn the music down. As soon as he saw Meadow, he was just like, oh, you good. Keep that music up. Y'all have a good time. I am not a party pooper. And he was just kicking himself as he was leaving. And then we see Meadow's friend come in and shot. And she was just like, oh, is that your neighbor? She represented every best female friend in this entire movie. I loved her character.
Karina.
And yes. And she was like, oh, he's kind of cute. I was like, okay, sis. And so that was the I think that was the end of part 2.
Mm-hmm.
He does not have his dream yet, and so now we are going into chapter 3.
into the dream.
Into the secret spot. What did y'all think of Jabari's dream? Do y'all be having dreams like this? Have you ever had a dream like this? And if so, share what you can, and then add an extra little sauce into it.
So share everything.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's. I feel like that's natural. That's natural, you know. Like you see somebody you into, you like, you think you may think about them as you know, self-love.
Yeah. So okay. I'm gonna ask Jason this because I feel like I can relate. So I know I want to see if your answer. I'm hoping your answer is wild as mine about to be. But like, you ever had a dream about somebody where you never would probably like think about that for real, but you may be like, it may have been a minute or like a dry spot or just something like that, like something you wouldn't consider for real normally. Be honest.
Possibly, it's a possibility. Because I mean, so with me, I daydream a lot. So, like, you might be just scrolling through Instagram, like I wonder, like, damn, yeah, now you washing your hands.
Yeah. Okay. Now I went to the dentist one time and it was the what you call it? The people who clean your teeth.
The dentist? I mean, no, just the hygienist. The hygienist.
Yeah, it was. She was in my dream. I was just, what the? Like, I wouldn't even think. I was like, what just happened? Yeah, that happened for. I was just, wow.
Now that I don't know. I don't think I've had nothing like that random. Have I had something like that? I don't know. I just left
Did
it
you go
there.
to the dentist?
You had to.
Did you go to the dentist that day and dream about them that night?
No, that was the thing. Like, I had went to it was probably the same week, but it wasn't that same day. That's why I woke. I was just like,
she didn't have no face mask on, huh?
This is pre-COVID, yeah, nah.
Yeah, I was like,
nah, this is pre-COVID. Now, that's bad. She had a mask on. You still dreaming about it.
I'm like, wait a minute. He had a Mortal Kombat dream over here, ain't he?
But then I would ask, how do you remember who it was that their mask was on? Unless I guess if they had.
That's why I asked, because I went to dentist today and she had a mask on. But yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, okay.
Okay. But so Jabari's
but before we put the brakes on it for a moment, Jazz. What she thinks she doing, Jazz? What about you? Have you had a moment of
see, that question could have been saved later down the line because we get to a scene down the line, but since we're here, yes, sure.
Okay, I ain't even have to ask. We already knew.
He just wanted me to say it. He just wanted me to say it. And so Jabari it's a knock at the door and he is interrupted. So he just go downstairs, you see what he was doing before he got out of bed. And he opens the door and it's Meadow. And he immediately closes the door because he didn't really cover himself up. And if she was looking down at her phone, she would have been like, oh, I might need to, okay. But she was looking up.
Of course that's your background.
Oh, I just noticed that. So was he doing something or he just woke up hard and answered the door?
Oh, I thought he was
he was going at it.
Oh,
he was going to town. He was going at it.
Yo, Jason. Yeah. He was going insane. Like, yo, chill.
Jason had the Spider-Man gif.
He's just like me. Like,
and he said he's not Jabari. Yeah, right. All right. And so Meadow asked him, she wants to take him out to lunch and apologize for all the noise and everything. And so she was like, how long is it gonna take you to get ready? He's like, oh, you trying to go now? He was probably ready to finish what he was doing, but you got to say that for later. So I liked how the scene where we see him getting ready, he's brushing his teeth. I love how they put an emphasis on the characters brushing their teeth because we see it a few times. And I was just like, that seems like a detail a lot of people wouldn't include, especially with this type of like animation, because they have to like possibly draw everything. So that means you drawing characters brushing their teeth. It might not have been a significant scene, but I definitely appreciated it. And then he puts on his favorite hoodie that says closure, which we will see come back up later.
He wore his hoodie a lot, or he wore this whole outfit a lot.
He wore this whole outfit a lot.
He just kept throwing it back on. He didn't care. He just threw it. Everybody be changing around him. He had the same outfit on every time.
Yeah, I was like, please don't put that hoodie back on. But so they go to a diner, and Meadow says, "This is my secret spot." I'm like, sis, you can't be taking people you just meet to your secret spot. Like, no, I gotta filter you out a little bit. But it turns out to be like this date honestly reminded me of the question I asked y'all earlier of like going out, hitting different locations with friends. But we see with them,
I know exactly where Jason going.
we know.
I know exactly where he's going.
We back, baby. We back because we asked it. Because we had this conversation went for a long time about what a date is and what the potential of a date can be. And yeah, like I said, when it comes to this, yeah, exactly. But yeah, they kicked it. They kicked it. So there was they went into the place. She asked him. Before they went to the actual place, he jumps to the side, to the curbside where as they're walking down the street, and she was like, she said, I like that you did that. That's like the only act of chivalry that I'm into. You do that, Chris? You jump out?
I don't jump, but I just, I make
I
sure.
mean,
I make sure that's not.
Jazz, do you stay on the outside, or you allow the man to get over there? Or is that even a thought for you? Like I don't know.
It is. It definitely comes to mind anytime we're walking on the street or on like the sidewalk. See the movements. But
it's kind of
I
chivalry. It almost is overrated. It kind of sounds like a danger for the man at all times. Like walk through the door first, and it's like so they say when you open the door for a woman, you're supposed to go in the door. Like that's how you check the safety or whatnot. But most people open the door, let her go in. It's like, oh, she gets shot if something happens.
Oh, I ain't know that. Only thing I know is like when you sitting down at an establishment, like make sure your back not turned to the door. But
that's anywhere I go, like I want to, but my daughter, bro, she is like breaking all fourth wall. I don't know what's going on with her. We go to the restaurant, she want her back to the wall. Like, no, I'm the one that got to make sure you good. Like, why you got to jump over there? Come on, like, man, jeez.
I mean, maybe it's just something she like naturally has, and you gotta maybe
changing the game up. I don't even be arguing. I just be like, ugh. Okay, I'm feeling unsafe. But yeah, they go to this restaurant, right? And they get to, she asks him if he trusts her. And then she orders the food for him, asks for 2 of the specials. He was like, damn, I thought you were gonna take me to one of them vegan spots, give me some, mukbang vegan something. And they talk about the Mr. Rager thing. And she's into Mr. Rager because she calls out Mr. Rager, and he's just like, well, you know my stuff. And that's dope. Like, how would y'all feel if somebody would call out something that you do or you into and just like, wait, you know about this?
It will make me fan out for real. And it's my stuff. Like, it'll make me be like, oh wow, that's dope. Especially being that this is a organic opinion, because they don't even know this is mine. Mm-hmm. So when I bring up something without even saying the name, they're just like, oh, like such and such, and just like exactly like that, because I'm the artist who creates that. But I thought this scene was dope.
Yeah. And then he was saying, well, he asked her about what she's into, and he said that her pictures are gonna be inside of a museum. She would like if he would come. And then he said his Mr. Rager is about to be a comic book. But she kind of like was hesitant. Her face was just like, eh. And he was like, wait, what's up with that? He was like, just don't let them Deadpool it.
Yeah.
As far as messing up, and like I said, just coloring up, drowning out the color and messing up his image of what he thought about it. And I wanted to ask y'all a question, but I don't know how to frame it. So I'm gonna still ask it though. Like, so with her, she was putting her, both of these people are doing they're not typical jobs, right? He's an illustrator in a comic book of something that he created. She's a photographer of something that she's doing, and she's putting it inside of a museum for people to come out and see. And like I was just saying, like what as far as something that you into, whether it's the podcast, something outside the podcast, do y'all have a vision of where or what y'all see in this or what y'all want to see from it? Like I said, it could be in or outside. Like you may have something else that you passionate about and that you really care about that you want to see do something amazing.
So for me, I would definitely want to get into photography, because y'all know that I like to do graphics and animations and video editing. And so I love taking pictures. I love just that whole realm. So that's definitely something that I want to get into more seriously, and just to see somebody that could see pictures of things that I've done. It was just like, oh wow, that was Jazz's. So it's just having that eye. So I love like that entire realm. So that's definitely something I would want to see grow and be great.
What about you, Chris?
I think I'm getting more passionate into like reading more. So, basically like expanding, because, it's easy to get stuck in one genre, but like sort of branching out different genres, like not just, maybe horror or science fiction, but something like that. That's been something that I've been interested in. So having somebody to share that with is really dope.
Are you reading something now?
Yeah, I'm reading someone's book. Someone that I know is their book.
Okay, cool. That's dope. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. It was just like something just like was super dope just seeing them because they was into they like I said, they're doing something that's outside of a realm. So them being able to create that to be able to share something they're passionate about with other people, they can share with it was just a dope moment.
So you're not gonna share your music?
Oh, of course. Like that's so I mean I have like it really can go on a lot of things. So I feel like I don't know, like it's like I was talking to somebody about accountability and responsibility, and it was Tiffany. She was saying, like accountability is easy, it's just you taking ownership of a fuck up, and I have a lot of fuck ups, right? So so she said that's the easy part. The hard part is being responsible for whatever you did, right? So just being able to not take ownership, but moving beyond that. So one thing I like to do is I like to make people happy, or I like to create something that people can enjoy or they can share together. So I like to play music. Like I go online at nighttime at different times of night, play different music, create whatever. Me and Chris, we've created a playlist together. Super dope. A lot of people enjoyed that. Or just like, but I would like to actually do it in an actual setting, a place, something that Jason has created, my own, and I can bring people together. And it's just like I said, it's whether people give me the vibes. Like whenever I play music, I don't like to play the same thing. So like it's never something twice or the stuff that everybody is into. So that's something I like to. But as far as even with the podcast, like I said, if it was, I don't know if this was to turn, if it got hope, it's going to be larger. That's what I'm claiming. Like this is like that speak it into fruition podcast today. That's what we doing. We're gonna speak life into this shit. And like it's whether it's became like, I don't know, I was looking at like the thing like a Breakfast Club type of thing. Like if it became like a radio station, because all it is just us telling our opinions about different stuff. Look at Jazz say, hell no, nah, that's not what I would do. But hey, nigga, hey, it is like this is just my thought in that. Like I said, whether it's something like that or whether it became something different, it's just something of that nature. Yeah, that's definitely something that I would be into. Like I said, it's just sharing, us being able to talk about stuff that we into. It's not us going to something or running or chasing something. It's just us being able to share what we already do. So yeah.
Nah, I feel that. I definitely want to say people hold themselves accountable. People don't do that. So that's not an easy thing. It's a lot of people that do not do that. So respectfully to you and Tiff, I love y'all, but nah, that's no.
Well, I think what she's saying is being accountable is easy. People don't want to be. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a easy task, but people
Okay.
make it hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That I agree with.
Yeah. So that's the come on, think about it.
Nah, you had to give me more than that, Jason, because I'm sitting here like I'm gonna wait till he finished, but I'm gonna definitely did that whole accountability. Nah, so you over here hitting close to home, like, bruh, nah. But so the date was a vibe. So I remember you. So all of the activities they were doing, if you were not interested in the person, a walk is not a date. But obviously they were interested in each other. The flirtations, the chemistry, the vibe was flowing between these two. So much to where they take this date to their friends. And they're both pretty much told the same thing, but in different manners. we get our laundry room story because
I was crying laughing at this.
That was hilarious.
This scene caught me completely off guard. So we have Jabari and Ty talking. And Jabari is telling Ty, like, went out with my neighbor, yada, yada, yada. And then Ty is like, don't do it. Because I had this situation. All right, y'all. I'm going to let y'all handle this scene because I definitely love Ty's character. But what did y'all think of this laundry room story?
It was funny. He said her body was fine, but her face was in. I was like, but hey, man. But I thought it was funny because his whole reasoning for it was pretty much I think they said it later, but like it was strictly lust. Like for him, it was strictly sexual. It wasn't like a real relationship. But I thought it was funny when he's what did he say? He said my dick get hard every time I smell
bounce sheets.
I was like, yeah, you might be my favorite character.
Them at this party though, the entire party scene, like everything that was going on with it, just like a vagina party, like that was wild.
That was mad weird.
And then they say you got the little. I don't know if y'all know the Beyonce twins. They used to dance with her. I don't know if they do now because I feel like Beyonce has like all women that does it. But it's these two twins that used to dance with her at all concerts and things like that. So you got these two dudes dressed up as vaginas going around. Then Jabari's like, oh, it's gonna be lit tonight. And I like the scene that you got like I said, the same exact time you got Meadow. She's speaking to Karina. Jazz, what do you think about this scene?
This scene, their interactions, I could definitely relate to because your homegirl is always just gonna be like, sis, that wasn't just you taking your neighbor out. That was a date. Because there's been situations, and I would say for myself, I'd be like, I don't classify that as a date. I don't care what y'all say.
I think my notes put like this is Jazz to a T.
I put her realization she was on a date and put Jazz with the little
that's fucked up.
I knew that was gonna come up, and I was hoping it did, but then I was gonna bring it up because I was just
like, if we didn't, I'm gonna get there.
I thought right to the end of that episode.
No, it depends on what your intentions are.
So a Walmart date, you can take a girl to Walmart and
Jason,
that can be a date.
Jason, you should have brought that shit.
You can take her to a weekend. You can make it a vibe. Jazz, when Jazz fall in love, when she finally fall in love, I'm gonna be like, hey Jazz, take him to Walmart and just do this, and she gonna be like Jason.
No, that's different because he
loved it. You don't have okay. It can be before a relationship. You can make anything a vibe if you a vibe. What do you mean?
Okay, but
you can make Walmart. You can make Walmart a vibe. You can go through Walmart. You can go through there, play with the video games in the little back section.
Toy section and jump on the bike.
You can go to the toy section. You can play basketball over there.
Jason switching it up. That's not what you said the first time.
I said
you said a Walmart date. You ain't talking about.
I said Walmart. I didn't. What are we doing at Walmart, Chris?
Come on, man.
It's not my fault. Y'all don't have an imagination like me. You can make anything.
You can be mad, like you can have a great imagination, but not like
we can go. You see what kind of soap, lotion she into. Like you can do a whole bunch of stuff in Walmart.
So nigga, you just be going grocery shopping with hoes?
Yeah. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? Grocery shopping?
Look,
they don't have Super Walmart.
Oh shit. For real?
First off, he was from Arkansas. So we have all the supers of the Walmarts in Arkansas. Fuck y'all. All right? Fuck both of y'all. Y'all ain't gonna play with Sam and whatever his Sam Walton and Walmart. They got them all out here. Yeah.
So
You got Walmart so big. Walmart so big. I thought it was an amusement park when I walked inside of it.
So that's why you be going on them Walmart dates. Okay. So it's location.
So anyway, back to the ladies talking. And so you said her name is, what is her friend?
Karina.
Karina. So Karina and Meadow is talking. I don't know why I keep fucking up her name.
Let's embrace it, Jazz. We know what you mean.
So they just bring up Chris Hemsworth and his brother, and she's just like, so you never thought about none of them? And she was like, no, because they all are the same to me. And she was just like, how? It's like, what makes you think they're all the same? And she was just like, what was her line? She said, oh damn, I thought I wrote it down. But basically she said colonizers.
What she said oppressors.
Oppressors.
Oppression.
Difference. You know what I mean? So funny. Meadow ends up at the same vagina party as Jabari. So what is the guy's name? Is he like her agent?
Reed.
Oh, yeah.
So Reed has her going to these different events, meeting different art buyers to get ready for her show. And so she's all dressed up. She goes to the bar. You see random people walking around dressed as vaginas, but we did see a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Shout out to Cassie.
Shout out to MODOK. But so Meadow is at the bar drinking solo, and then from a distance, Jabari sees her and he shows Ty her. He was like, there go my neighbor right there. Immediately, Ty was like, that's your neighbor? Oh, nah. Yeah, fuck her. And I was just like, that sound like, do y'all have homeboys, or are y'all that homeboy that'll just be like, don't do none of this, and then you see what the woman is, and you just like, actually, fuck everything that I just told you, go ahead and do that.
I'm not that person, but I've experienced that before. But I mean, even when he said that, because he said before, he was like, that's not my neighbor. He was like, technically, y'all wasn't neighbors, like trying to justify him getting with Meadow. So I was just like, he knew.
Yeah. There's been moments where I've said I was definitely on one point and it switched because of something. I don't think it was because of how the person looked. It may have been a situation like, oh, this is the situation. Oh, no. Scratch everything I just said. Do this, because nothing I just said is gonna fit this situation. But it wasn't based on looks or anything.
Oh, okay. And so they end up. Well, Jabari goes up to the bar and sees her. They talk, and we see the chemistry. I love the chemistry between these two characters, because he was just like, I didn't think I would see you so soon. And she's just like, well, we are neighbors. And I'm just like, look at y'all. Y'all go ahead and do what y'all need to do. And so behind them, that's when we see the dick costume comes in, and then the vagina's like, no dicks allowed. So I'm just thinking, like, did they get there in an Uber or did they drive? Because imagine somebody getting into your Uber, you're the driver, and then it's a huge dick costume.
There's no telling.
So many questions, but then it's just like, actually, I don't want the answers. And so they leave, and Meadow is just like, so where your car at? Because I came here in a Maybach. And he was like, you can get up on this mongoose, and it's his bike. And this will only work because they're in New York. This will only work because they are in New York. If I'm downtown Tampa and a dude is just like, oh, you can get on my bike. Nah, my nigga. That's what we're not doing. Nah.
Jazz, you are the destroyer of vibes.
That would have sucked if that was the case. I'd be like, dang, all right. Like, walk on now.
I gotta do it, Kai. We just take a nice little ride, and then we can call it Uber for you do. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine, but they was going back to the crib.
I mean, you know, she trusted him, so she got in the back of them.
Would you ride on the back of somebody's bike?
I'm a grown ass man. No, I'm not riding the back of nobody's bike.
Oh, but you want me to do that shit?
You a woman, yes. It's a little different. Imagine me on the back of your bike, Jazz, holding your shoulder.
Now she get it.
Like, come on, man.
No, but I was trying to imagine it. I was just like, yo, we be done.
Jasmine like, I can't pedal. Like,
Jason, your turn. Tap in, tap in. But and so then we get another montage of them together on the bike. We got the visuals flowing again, and we got the music. I love these different scenes.
Mhm.
And then we get a cut to Meadow with her vibrator
Going
doing,
in.
you know, hey, look, Rose might have just came through. She's like, oh yeah. So
Your battery out of battery. The battery operated boyfriend can't do it like the man can, man. I put them roses down, man.
all right, so chapter 4.
That is shout out to Raheem Devon for that song B.O.B. man. Check that out.
that's the one may spin the block. No, that's not him. That's somebody else. I'm tripping.
No, that's Raheem.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So we are on chapter 4,
The Punan.
the Punan. So I thought this title was crazy because I was like, normally I hear Punani, but Punan, I was just like, I don't think I heard that prior to this film. But either way, y'all know what it is. So Meadow is at boxing class. She seems a bit frustrated. I mean, you know, gotta release some energy. And she's talking to.
Wait. So the Rosen get you there?
I mean, it probably got her there for that time being, but she's probably replaying what could have happened that night in her head all day. It ain't no, okay, I'm good for. That's
so question.
No.
So it's a little. So for me, you know, like I just typically just, you know, I just lay back, self-love. You know, do you set a vibe for yours? Like, is it the whole vibe? Like you got on music, like candles and all this stuff with the rose to the side? Like, do you sit there, like, do you?
We get the playlist together, dim the lights. Come on,
Yo, having a rose playlist is crazy.
It's called
Hey,
Rose.
yo, that might be my set tonight. The rose playlist.
It's not a name, it's just a rose emoji.
Yo, if you ever see me drop a screenshot and that shit say rose playlist, please help me. Like I'm
We
like,
recorded
no.
right away. I got them jokes is coming immediately.
So like, nah, that's crazy. Lighting candles? But look, yo,
You gotta I heard you gotta make sure you take care of yourself. So it seems like it's a vibe.
candles? I mean, the rose, there's a reason why the rose is the shit. That should have you sleep quick. You don't want to wake up and your whole house burning, like all trying to set a vibe. That rose put you to sleep so damn fast. Like,
Start waking up. What's that smell? Like,
something burning. Oh, that's me. Like your legs on fire. You dying.
dying for a nut. Yeah, that don't seem like it's worth it. That don't seem like it's worth it. We can't hear Jason.
Yo, fix your shit.
I didn't touch it. Do PSA. PSA, do not set the vibe with the rose.
Not when you're the only one in the house, yo.
Yeah, no.
You might die.
That's a horrible way to go out. I mean, kind of. It depends on how you look at it.
Long as the firefighters don't find what you was doing, then you might be good. But if they be like,
just imagine your kid being the one to stop the fire. You're like,
like, what's this? Don't even worry about it.
it's wet everywhere, Mom.
close your eyes, bird box bitch. Woo. All right. So,
Oh man.
okay, are we back? So, Meadow. All right. Whoo, sorry, y'all. That was funny. So we have parallel conversations happening during this time, and both of them, Jabari and Meadow, is speaking with their friends about the entire situation. both groups are just like, well, actually, I think the fellas were telling him he should hook up with Meadow. And actually, both of them was just like, you just need to go ahead and smash. But Meadow and Jabari was just like, I'm not having sex with my neighbor. Like, I'm not doing that. We chill, not trying to do none of that. But also their friends were just like amping it up. And it was funny because there was a line in this where Meadow's friend was just like, the Punan wants what the Punan wants. And I'm not going to say that she was lying, but I'm not going to say she was right. Take it how you want, but we see what happened in the next scene. And so it was just that energy. They was both like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then Meadow was just like, I'm about to go knock on that door. And Jabari was like, I'm about to walk out my door. Fireworks. And they just go in.
All it took was a hey.
Hey man, sometimes that's all they need.
I was gonna say that, but I was like, nah, fuck that.
Say what? That's all you need.
Jazz don't even say hey. She just that's what she can.
Wait a minute.
Get over here.
Yeah, Scorpion. Jazz definitely turned into Scorpion. She makes sure
stop. Y'all gotta relax. But how did y'all feel about this montage?
Which one? The sexual one?
I mean, I feel like it was a sex montage, and then it went to them spending more time with each other. So, like, it just
because they was having sex in between spending time,
right? So, all of it. Like, how did y'all feel about this whole?
That's why we spend. That's why we get back to spending more time together. Like, hey, that was fire. Let's do it again. The entire montage. Like I said, this movie, the experience from the movie, it's a really super feel good movie. That's why I really enjoyed it a lot. And the montage, it was dope because you see Karina had her baby in the midst of this. So you can tell they've been spending a lot of time with one another. You know, they taking trips, you know, pictures, you know, they just having a good old time, man. Just that black girl, black boy joy, you know, with a person and whatnot. So yeah, I super loved it. I don't know about brushing teeth and smoking at the same time. That's some talent.
Yeah, I looked at that again. I was like, huh? But yeah.
What you think? What you think about the scene, Chris?
No, I liked it a lot. I like their chemistry was like straight up off rip when they was at the diner and everything. So I liked how they progressed it. But I probably jaded, but I was waiting for the bottom to fall out because I knew something was going to happen, but I just took it for what it was. I was just trying to see exactly what happened, and then when it happened, it pissed me off. So.
Yeah, I definitely liked it because we saw Meadow with his friends, and then if y'all remember at the beginning of the movie, they were just like, nah, they was so against him possibly getting back with Carmen.
Yeah.
But now they're out with him and Meadow, and it's just like they feeling her, they liking her vibe. She didn't seem like she was too, I guess, clingy or controlling to where everybody energy was just all around her group, his group. It was just a great puzzle piece, Tetris, everything going in the right spot. And then, Chris, you get your bottom to fall out. Thanks. Because we get a text message from this heifer that should have been blocked a month ago. Look.
Didn't she say he? Oh, no, that was after. Okay, my bad. Yeah, she's definitely should be blocked.
I mean, it's one of them situations, though. It's not, you know, it wasn't bad blood. There wasn't an issue. So y'all just blocking people. Y'all don't be beefing. Y'all just be blocking them. Block them for what? So,
okay, I don't block if there's not beef, but I'm also single. Now, if I get into a relationship, as soon as I jump in that bitch like a rabbit, block, 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 block.
Damn, for real?
I don't know. I might just be talking.
I mean, I don't.
I was about to say,
like, unless the person is causing issues. And I seen recently, like the Chloe girl, she mentioned she was like, I don't, which was kind of, she's young, so I feel I'm gonna put this because she's young. She was like, I don't want him to block the person because if you have to block them, that means that person's still on your mind. So, and I feel like it's an out of sight, out of mind type of thing, more so. Like, so if you block it, you don't have to worry about the distraction popping up at any time, right? Like that's what I feel like. But I personally wouldn't But if you feel like you're not able to control yourself in that relationship or that situation, maybe you should.
Oh, I see what you. Okay, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying with that. Yeah.
Are you saying block just to because you could possibly have feelings for that person? So to keep those feelings, keep
Yeah.
from
She
pursuing those feelings?
she was saying if you block the person, you know, that lets them know kind of lets them know you still feeling them, or that person, somebody in a relationship feels a way about this person. So that's what keeps them from being in there. But
Could
I'm
it
like,
be they just aggravating as fuck?
I was gonna say if they causing problems. So
I said, no, I mean, but that we said no beef though. He didn't have beef with Carmen.
Okay.
yeah, I don't. I think in that situation, wasn't really no need to block because remember he was like we could just be friends, you know. So we know that she wasn't gonna go for that, but he left that situation open where he was just like, okay, it's whatever. So and he couldn't have expected like that text, if anything. So
How did y'all feel about this text?
Why he didn't have a lock on his phone?
You know
oh
what?
yeah, he didn't have a lock.
Questions that need answers.
Yeah.
Why was it not on Do Not Disturb?
I don't use Do Not Disturb. I despise people that use Do Not Disturb personally.
You despise your co-host?
Yeah, you tripping.
Do y'all use it?
Yeah, then just make it so that certain people could get through.
I just don't. That's just me. Again, that's just me personally. I don't use it. Only time it comes on my phone when I'm driving. That's it. And that's for me, not for them.
How lame. Jason would definitely be like notify. Like he'd do that.
I press the button. You don't press the button?
No. If somebody don't do that, just leave him alone. Jason.
It's not like it's gonna make it ding or nothing. You don't press the button, Jazz?
I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb throughout the day.
No, you don't press notify anyway when you send a text message.
No, because you're not the one that does that.
Probably pressing the hell out of it too. I'm like, I wonder what it does.
With the effect and
I wonder what it does. How you know
pure chaos.
How you know what to do with Chris if you ain't never pressed it before?
No, it's happened before. Like I know what it does. Yeah, but I wouldn't do that to somebody.
Oh, I am. Hopefully you're busy when I do it too.
Jason is Carmen. He wants
for no. That's exactly who he is.
I'm not texting nobody inappropriately. It just might be, it can be brother, mother, sister, cousin. I just hit the button. I'm gonna hit it every time if it's on Do Not Disturb.
Just being a minute for no reason.
Right. So we see the picture that Carmen sent. Sis.
That'd be a nice picture if I was single, not with nobody.
So when y'all saw this, did you think that he was still messing with Carmen? Because that was my first thought.
Nah.
I didn't know. I think it was just her over here. He probably did something small for her.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything physical, and she's just leaping.
Yeah.
I didn't think he did anything grimy.
Yeah, before we saw everything, I was just like, bro. But I don't know. Looking back, I don't know why I thought he would do that. But in the moment, I was just like, that was my
first. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't make him that person.
Yeah, me too.
Right. But it was funny because I'm not gonna lie, if I was Meadow, I would have left right then and there. I'm not going back to sleep.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't have made that. No.
You wouldn't even ask me about it?
No.
See, that's what you know what? What's up with people? What's up with the ghosting thing? Like, there's not even can we have a dialogue about what's going on? I ain't even send the text. What was my last message to this bitch?
Jason. Wait. So
Jason got a point.
No, it's not even that. Okay. First off, why she gotta be a bitch?
My bad.
But I will say, if I was in that situation, not having too much information as to what happened or why she got your hoodie on that you've been wearing this entire movie, and she's sending this kind of picture and this kind of text, I am removing myself from that situation from letting my emotions react for me. And that's just me, the kind of person I am. Normally, I try to, if I feel like the situation is going to be a lot worse with these raw, high levels of emotions, I'm gonna step away and let myself calm down. Because staying there, waking him up in the middle of the night, like, who this bitch? No, we're not doing that, because my emotions high, things could be said that's not going to be meant the next day. So I'm just going to remove myself. I'm not going back to sleep. I don't even know how the hell she went back to sleep. I'm going next door where I live. And I'm just going to let myself mentally and emotionally like process what I just saw. sometimes you got to remove yourself from situations from reacting quickly. You know what I mean? So that's why I would have done it like that.
I see what she's saying. Because if she asks the questions, then it's just gonna be like it ain't gonna come out.
It's not, and she might start fighting him, and he sleep, so he don't know what's going on anyway. And we see his delivery when he tried to explain it. He did a terrible job.
Yeah.
I don't think it. I mean, I don't think it would. So for Jabari is not abrupt, but he's direct. So when he was speaking, I don't feel like his intent was what it was, but you have to definitely be careful in that conversation. You have to be very diligent in how you deliver the information. So it came off in a manner of like, yeah, I'm doing all that she thought I was doing, but it wasn't that at all, and her still being emotional, she wasn't really ready to receive what he was really saying to her, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. So now we go to chapter 5. It was yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. It wasn't black though, it was just yellow. So Jabari, we get a flashback as to what happened, because that was my main question. I'm like, okay, when did you go see this heifer? When did she get your hoodie? And so we see Jabari riding his bike down the street. He goes into Carmen's home. She got rats and shit, but you live in New York, so rats should be like air around you. Like, it's a part of life. So I mean, they're everywhere.
What's your beef in New York, man? You be coming at them crazy.
I like trolling our New York listeners. That's it. That's all it is. So she calls Jabari to get this rat out of here. Jabari's scared of rats too. So I don't know what he could have done. And her apartment is obviously, she got it on like 80 degrees. This bitch got on a bubble coat.
Why she got to be a bitch?
You right. Actually, that picture is why she got to be a bitch. So she got on a bubble coat. Jabari takes off his hoodie and he throws it on the couch. And he's afraid of rats, so he leaves. They leave immediately out her apartment. And so now we see why Carmen has the hoodie. And it's just like, oh, he didn't do no grimy shit. He was just trying to be a good gentleman, a good friend. And so Jabari is explaining this to Jimmy, because they're at the it looks like a skateboard park / bicycle park, which is actually pretty dope. And you see other people around that they're associated with on their bikes and all of that. So they're just talking about it. And then Jimmy asked him, maybe she didn't see it. He was like, bruh, I woke up, my phone was on her pillow, and her side of the bed was made up. Do you know how hard it is to make a bed with somebody in there? Yes. Like I told you, I would have left. I'm like, that's top level trolling, and knowing that the dude that you with is a heavy sleeper. How y'all making beds with people in it?
No, whoever out the bed.
I wouldn't even pick up the phone though. Like I wouldn't have picked up the phone.
Right, but I think she just did that just to prove a point that she saw it.
Oh no, she did that to do that. But I'm saying like I wouldn't have picked the phone, so I wouldn't be making up no beds. Like,
oh, you talking about he wouldn't have read the text?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been at leaving trying to make no. Yeah, nah.
So if sis phone going off, and it woke you up.
Now if it's going off, if it did it, you keep hearing it. Oh yeah, hey, it's time to talk. What's going on?
But that's what.
I might leave and might get me beat up. Men crazy. It'd be a completely different situation with men. Like if her phone dinging like that at nighttime, 2:00 in the morning, who at your house? That's the first message you're gonna see at the top. Who over there? You ain't that? You see, not gonna answer the phone? Oh, well, I'm on my way. Yes, this is a real situation. I'm outside the door. What's up? Who in there? You sure nobody in there? Oh, well, look. Yeah.
This is extremely detailed. Like,
it is. I'm scared for you, my brother. I'm scared.
You see, I'm on the podcast today, so ain't nothing went the way it shouldn't have went. Well, maybe for somebody else, not for me though.
So
incriminate yourself, brother.
Let me know whatever I need to edit out. But
you good.
So Jimmy is talking, and he's just like, what was she? Jabari told him that all she sent me was a thumbs up, and Jimmy was just like, "What color was it?" And then Jabari was like, "It was yellow." Do y'all pay attention to that?
I
Like,
do.
Yeah.
for real? So
Any,
if it's
any difference? Because you know how the person like communicates, like text it. So any difference, you notice it. So yeah.
let me ask y'all this, because this happened to me in the past. So if somebody sends you a hi text, HI, that's it. Do you translate that into like a what's up, a hey, a good morning? Is it just like a response like those, or is it like a red flag for y'all? Like, oh, this person got an attitude.
How do they say hi normally?
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on how they regularly talk.
They rarely say it. They rarely send it.
I mean,
It'll probably be a flag then. It's something, because I mean, I say the same thing every day. But you can't become a creature of habit. So maybe you need to switch the shit up some. But
yeah,
what?
but I don't know if I've ever gotten a text like just hi. Like it'd be hey.
How do they start the conversation typically?
So I don't want to say my triggers on this pod, because I can see people purposely pushing those triggers. But past experiences, anytime somebody goes out their way and does hi, capital H, and a small I, they have an attitude. The energy after that text is off. So
that was their initial text, or that was a response to you saying something?
no, that was just both. It could be both.
That's new, but I mean, everybody got different triggers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, if that was their way of being like passive aggressive, like just
that's normally what it is. That's the energy that I get off of. Because normally when you texting somebody, you just like, oh, good morning, hey, how are you? Hi just seems lazy as fuck to me. That's just like somebody sending you a HBD.
Yeah, that's kind of that's.
But if they don't, like I said, that's why I want to know how they normally.
If they
say
always
it.
send that, if they always send for like happy birthday, if they always send that, then that's just what they do.
Yeah, you got to get, because
but if they never send that, then it's just like, who done pissed in your Cheerios this morning?
Yeah, because some people, I had to get used to like GM for good morning. Like normally you just be like, what is it? But some people, that's just how they type. So you get used to that.
That's another one.
Yeah, like you just be like GM. But sometimes I'll be like, what you mean GM? But some people just type like that. So I guess, like I said, if it's a difference in like how they normally talking, and then yeah, that's a problem. But people different, especially sometimes they get older people. Sometimes they text different. And you just be
older people. What that mean?
Just like like young, like I guess so. For me, like the way I would like communicate through text when I was younger, or even if I'm younger than like some people that I talk to, I can't like expect how different people speak from them, because they they do different things. Like if we express emotion like through an emoji or like an exclamation point, they may not do that, and then you'd be like, yo, what's up with you? But then you remember, it's just completely different.
Oh, I'm like, what you consider old? Because you be considering 32, 33 old sometimes. So I was just like,
older than me. No shade. That wasn't shade. I feel like you created shade. It wasn't no shade, Jeff.
Nope. I was just trying to be more detailed. Because when you say old, I'm like, Chris always dropping old jokes. So
I wouldn't even think about that. I wish I did now, but I wouldn't think about that.
All right. So Jabari's at the park with his homeboys talking about it. And then we see another character. I didn't get his name, but he rode up on his bike and he was just like, yo, Jaden? Okay. He was like, yo, I got to block my ex.
It's Jaden. Listen to Jason.
So I thought this was funny. Let me ask y'all this. When he said like he got to block his ex, and they were just, because he was just like, he basically ghosted her. And so Jabari and Jimmy were just like, did you tell her y'all broke up? And he was like, no, I just stopped texting her and calling her. And they were just like, you got to let her know y'all not together. He was like, nah, she crazy. So like, when y'all saw this scene, like, what did y'all think about his character?
I mean, it was funny in the context of the movie, but I seriously hate ghosting. Like people that just ghost people, because people you today's world, under the guise of mental health and self-care, they
So
want to be able to belittle, berate, and just treat you treat you as if you're disposable at the expense of their health, when it wouldn't have been nothing to be like, hey, this ain't working, I gotta go. Like,
So we've had this conversation before. If you talking to somebody for 3 weeks, is ghosting acceptable or no?
3 weeks. I mean, we talk every day for 3 weeks.
On and off.
No, it don't matter. I feel like it don't. I mean, you can just conversation can just it can dwindle when it just happens. You don't talk. I don't unless I mean it's so rare that I talk to somebody every day, but I do talk to some people every day. So like in that situation, nah, I wouldn't think of it on and off. Nah, but if it's an everyday thing and you just out, oh yeah, that's a problem.
Okay, because I know I've heard had conversations on ghosting. I'm trying to do better, but I definitely used to ghost only for certain reasons. If we went out on one date and it wasn't really, the vibe wasn't right, I'm going to start decreasing my communication with you.
Or you should just tell them how you feel about the date, and then you don't have to worry
but
about any
see,
of that.
but see, also with that, a lot of men do
Right.
not take that response well.
That's the
And
only thing.
that's speaking from a woman's perspective, because
what I was
I've told dudes off gate, I'm not really feeling you. We could just be friends. And I've had them lash out at me, like cuss me out and be on some disrespectful type of shit.
Yeah.
So instead of dealing with all of that, I just be like, let me try to take a step back from you to where I would hope you would get the picture. A lot of them don't. And then I've gotten to the point to where I'm just like, look, we can just be friends. And y'all know a situation where I've recently done that, to where I took slow steps, because you just don't know where somebody's mood is. And a lot of people do not accept rejection well. And it's a lot of people out here feeling like just because they want you, you are supposed to want them. And that's not the case. That is not the case. And so it's just me just speaking from a woman, we got to be very cautious.
Yeah. When Jason was saying it, I agree. But then I remember from Jazz's perspective, it's completely different.
Let me step back. Yes, I'm gonna say I hate you have to experience that, because we definitely have to do a better job in protecting Black women, but also paying attention to their wants and needs. Like and that comes from ego, like because we talk about it often just from internet. People get mad at people's preferences. Like, bro, everybody won't like you. That's perfect.
Right.
That's perfectly fine. Find people that do. Well, his name is Jordan actually, and but Jaden is who
Jaden voiced him.
Jaden is who voiced. I thought he was the same name though, but he looked just like him. But yeah, that was funny when he did it. But then of course you got Downtown Pat crashing in rather. But he left them with some profound information. You got the quote, Jazz?
I do have the quote. Well, he actually dropped a few. So he basically shared a story with them of when he met a woman at a club, and he gave her, was it shrooms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was shrooms.
Okay, because he had some shrooms, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm trying to vibe like you," and he gave her some shrooms. They had a great night. He woke up, all his shit was gone, and everybody's looking at him like, Pat, that don't sound like a good story. How it ended. He was just like, he reached out, like he met up with the girl, and he was just like, why did you steal my stuff? And she told him, I stole it so you would remember me. Can you imagine somebody stealing your shit and just be like, I only did it so you can remember me? Like, you could do a lot of easier things to make me remember you than stealing my shit. And so, and it was funny because in this scene, I love how anytime you have flashbacks, anytime you have references, they give you the visuals. And so we saw like artistic visuals of Downtown Pat with this woman. And Downtown Pat had his hand on Jabari and Jimmy. And he was just like, man, love, it'll find us all. It'll hurt us all. But it's the only thing that will save us all.
Mm-hmm. He was hurt behind that too.
He was, because you saw the pain in his heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did y'all feel about Downtown Pat and him spitting this knowledge?
I enjoyed the character. Typically, that older, wiser wilder person does have a lot of knowledge. Because they've experienced a lot, even though they're wilding out and things like that. And it's not that they not trying to do the right thing, but people sometimes take advantage of them.
Yeah, and I like the way they animated his facial expressions, because you could really see the emotion of what he was saying. He shed a tear. Yeah, he was
He
crying.
did.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that as well. But I mean, that was profound. It was facts too. So
Yeah. And so like we got a scene of Jabari having flashbacks with him and Meadow. And so he gets back to their crib and he's about to, I think, knock on her door, and she's on her way out. And so he was just like trying to talk to her. And or no, actually she was coming in and she just had to pick up some artwork for her show. And Jabari came in and he was just trying to tell her like nothing happened. His explanation to me, I'm like, Jabari, you could have did a better job than that. You could have just been like, look, me and that heifer ain't sleep together. I just had to go kill a rat, but I was too scared to kill the rat.
He answered the questions you asked. He didn't try to go outside of it. So that's what he messed up.
And that's the hard thing to do, because you don't want to see, you sort of thinking you don't want to say the wrong thing, but then it's just like,
you say the wrong thing. His sister his sister mentions it whenever she comes into it, which was like dope for them to call back to.
Yeah, I definitely love the interaction between him and his sister. But I forgot to mention when he stopped by Carmen's crib. So he stopped by there and was just like, nah, you can't be sending me stuff like this because somebody I'm dealing with saw that. Sis' heart dropped because she remembers when he told her maybe a couple of weeks earlier, he was just like, I got too much stuff going on with me to be in a relationship. But now she over here sending him pictures where it's like, oh, cute, might delete later. And his new chick saw it and she's just like, is this somebody you dating? Like asking him questions, just like, sis, that ain't your business. Y'all not together no more.
I thought it was funny because the way they animated, she was like, was you with somebody or with somebody? And it showed up on the screen.
He was like, what is the difference?
And it's not, I mean, it's not truly, but whatever. It is what it is, man.
Yeah. I mean, I respected him coming at her pure honesty. He's just like, I don't think this whole friend thing could work. Like, he wasn't leading her on. He wasn't playing games with her. She just had that hope that they would get back together. But he like, I'm not even fazed by you. And then I thought it was really messed up when he was leaving. He was just like, I'm not over here to argue. I'm about to leave. No shade, Jason. He's definitely an Aquarius. No shade to you, my brother. None. So, but
you want to come over there and fight? Like, what's up? You want to get in the octagon or something? Like, what, you trying to go back to?
To go back.
I'm trying to leave that in 2022. I'm not in the octagon no more. But as he was leaving, she was just like, you'll be blocked by the time you get downstairs. And I'm like, she was such a clown. But also she gave him his hoodie, which said closure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've had multiple conversations of, do you think when you leave a serious relationship, do you think closure is necessary or a requirement? It's not always, the opportunity is not always there. But I know some people, it's just like closure is overrated. And it's very rare to get. You don't believe in closure?
Some people need it, some people don't. I mean, it depends on the situation. That's what I was gonna say. It depends on the relationship.
So if it depends on the people, is that really a myth?
In some situations, yeah. So it's kind of a myth. What do you?
I mean, so if it depends on the situation, yes. Because because once we end, what else is there needed in that? Well, and that's how I feel about it. Like, because there's nothing you can like say to me to make me feel better about the situation. It's not here anymore. It's gone. It's done. So I'm over here unless I want it more. Unless I want you more. Like I need you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not.
Okay. I ain't gonna go too deep into that because I don't want to incriminate myself. But so then we get back to Jabari, of course, trying to talk to Meadow. She's like, I don't have time for this. Maybe we were moving too fast. And I feel like what she was saying, it was like that default to make it seem like you don't really care that much when you actually do, but just to keep from being hurt too much, just to not show your hurt to him. You just like, you know what? Let's take a step back. Because I was just like, sis, that's not what you want, but you hurt. And he was obviously hurt as well. And he just like, I don't know how to respond to this. And of course, she's dealing with her art show. So it's not really good time anyway. So then we see Meadow goes to, she's getting prepared for her art show. She's speaking to another artist that has like artwork that symbolizes New York. It seemed very colorful. Kind of, sort of. What did y'all think?
I didn't think nothing about it.
Okay.
I like the singer that played the artist, but no, I didn't think shit about that at all.
Oh, he's focused on the actor.
Yeah, because I mean, it was like, I mean, other than her taking more space than she needed, I mean, because they thought she wasn't gonna be in it. I guess she was floating with Jabari so much she wasn't even thinking about the art show, or she was so hurt behind Jabari she wasn't thinking about the art show. One or two.
It could have been.
Right. So that was the end of chapter 5. So chapter 6, on to the next.
Well, wait, no, no, no. It was chapter 6. Do it on purpose.
My bad.
Next one. She going? Who did it do? Like, what's going on?
When I was saying it, I was just like, that didn't give me the vibes that in this chapter. And this is the last one. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. So we have Meadow and Reed in the taxi on their way to another art event. Meadow obviously is not feeling it. She's just not trying to be there. And she's introduced to Reed's ex because she also buys art. Was that earlier?
That was the earlier one. So this one it is.
Oh, this is just to where they had the small. Meadow thinks it's a small dinner, but then Reed is like, "Yeah, I invited some friends," and they go through the whole backstage area, and it's a bunch of motherfuckers back there. And I'm like, wait, like, what is happening? This is not what she wanted, because obviously she's still thinking about Jabari, and so they thinking about each other.
Yeah.
That look, Pride is a bitch because Pride will have you like, I'm not gonna text him. I'm not gonna text him, and then Pride will have him. I'm not gonna text her. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, and you just see them having a time. They missing trains. He done messed his bike up.
He fell on his face on his bike, and for some strange reason, it is raining every day, and they're both caught in the rain.
When you said it be like that, man. Them rainy days be coming hard. They come often.
Everything okay.
Like their whole life is in shambles because Meadow was gonna knock on his door, but she was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. And then we get another montage. I think this is like our third one in this movie. So, but of course I love them. And then as we see both of them are going through it, and we see different things happening into their lives. And Mr. Rager, the comic, like, it's official, everything is good. And we get Lynn back. Was that his name? Was it Lynn? Yeah. My boy, or my guy. Y'all know what he said. But and he was just apologizing to Jabari. He said, you shouldn't have indirectly kind of was like, you shouldn't have put me on blast, or I didn't think you was going to put me on blast. And Jabari was just
loved it. That's me for real. If you say something to me like sideways, sidebar, like the low key, I'm gonna put this shit out there. So everybody's like, oh, okay, that's what you thought you was going to do.
Like stand on it, right?
Yeah, you got to.
I love the fact that when Jabari is pushing his glasses up, he stuck his middle finger up. Like,
yeah.
I can't stand you. Because they was just like, that's who they wanted. And so Lynn was just trying to apologize. And during that scene, you saw the worry plant is no longer in Jabari's office. Mm-hmm. It's outside of his office and it's dead. Mm-hmm. So you see how the success from his position, everything is growing. He's not worrying and all of that. So I think that was pretty dope. And during that, right, during that scene, he was about to text Meadow. It's official. And we see in that text, the last conversation that they had was the one a couple of weeks ago when she sent the the thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Would y'all have sent that text?
Yeah. I would have sent
Chris?
it just to test the waters.
I would have probably did the same thing he did. I'm being 100% honest with you.
That's what we want here, because Jazz will also send that text. Look, I just need one rational excuse to send the text, and I'm sending that shit.
And the thing is, that was the perfect.
Oh my God, man! I just made a bomb piece of toast. Like, let me hit them up.
She loved toast.
I have your favorite jelly.
She loved bread. Like, it was just sexy.
It's always funny when you... Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was gonna say I was usually the one who I was the one who got that text, like, just randomly. I'm just like, this is not relevant at all, but you just wanted to reach back out.
Did you put butter on
it? Like, oh my God, I remember it. Like, yeah, I remember. I still know.
You know what? I'm sitting here like, all right, little tangent. But do y'all have like a common theme of random texts people will send y'all? Because mine is always something surrounded by a movie or Marvel or a TV show.
Or a basketball meme.
Is that for you?
No, that's for you.
Damn, I missed it. I don't I don't get it. I'm so sad.
That meme was old as
Niggas said the meme for 2014. Get the fuck out of here.
You said what?
I scrubbed it from my memory because
that nigga sent a meme from 2014 trying to come back in your life. Fuck out of here, bro. What you doing?
That was a deep reserves. We'll tell you after the episode.
Okay. He said, wait, he ain't even played for that team in 8 years.
You know, put on like 2 different jerseys since that.
If anybody is wondering, Jazz does not know what they're talking about, but I will find out, and I will not tell you. So...
I can picture Jazz's reaction when we tell her. It's cool, but what was the question? That's funny. It's cool. Go ahead.
It's just a theme that people would use to try to sneak back into your life or sneak back into your phone of like, let me reach out to this person. Or what topic they would send that will have you trigger for a conversation.
Like what topic would they send? Because it wasn't even no specific topic. It was just anything. But probably Marvel movie or like probably a Marvel movie, to be honest. Or music. I would say music.
Did you see that new trailer? You know I did. What your Panthers doing? Why are you texting me? Like,
the Eternals without me? Yes. Yes.
Have you seen Loki season 1? Duh.
Rewatched it too.
Multiple times.
Exactly.
Fuck you been at. But that was funny. So I done lost where I was at, like going back to
basketball memes. No, I'm just playing.
Hey man, that's funny. But Nadia, she went back to the art museum and she was talking with Nadia and she's finally got all the pictures that she wants for her artwork and she posted a picture of Jabbar and she was like, oh my God, that's my favorite one. Where you putting that at? She was like, I don't know. She said, I don't know why I like it, but he just fits. And it kind of goes back to the text message that the girl that Carmen sent to him. She was like, I'm not sure that it does. And like, stop it, cut it out. That picture fit up there.
But she's still having flashbacks of that screenshot.
Which is crazy. It's crazy how this stuff plays on the person.
I mean, yeah. And then we get to Jabari. He's out with his sister in the park.
Junior cheesecake is trash. Let me put that out there right now. Trash as hell. Diddy sending them boys out there to go get that cheesecake back in the day. You need your ass beat for that puffy. That cheesecake is trash. But you got it, Jazz. I'm sorry.
That's a wild thing to do if you don't even like pop off after that. That's a crazy. Like at least be friendly. Like can at least have like a successful career. Like that's crazy. But
Oh man, damn. Making a band flashback. Cause I'm like, fuck that. I wouldn't have walked.
Yeah, remember that neither, huh? Do you, Jazz? Remember that video?
I don't.
I know. I figured you didn't. I figured you didn't. See, man, oh my God. She's
not thinking about it, so it's just gotta when you tell her, she gonna be like, what? Yeah, that's
Right. So Jabari is talking to his sister, and she dropped some facts on him as well.
Bars.
Right, because one of the lines that she definitely dropped on him, because she said, "What's going on, like with the situation with Meadow?" And he's like, "I try to talk to her." She was like, "Well, try again. Like, you just can't let it go, because when you have somebody like this that you care about," because he told her, "I'm like, I am in shambles right now." He was just like, "I'm fucked up." Like, he's down bad. Or Usher, he got it bad. Like, but he not showing up on her set, knocking on her trailer. But then again, Usher kind of didn't do that in the video. He did, but he didn't. But we saw how he treated Chili after that. But anyway, Confessions was fire though. Confessions was fire. Jason, you ain't got to. Oh, Jason, let me ask you this: which was better? You got it, or 8701
I
or
knew she was
Confessions?
gonna say that.
I did.
Oh my god, I knew she was gonna say that.
So for the longest time, 8701 was a favorite. It used to beat Confessions, but nah. I think Throwback is my favorite Usher song. So it's kind of hard to top that jump for me.
8701 was fire. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, when you have your next session, you throw some of that on there.
I got you.
Thank you, Chris.
That's what it's made. That's what it's made for.
Right. All right, Chris, what do you think between those two albums?
8701.
Okay. Somebody listening like, what the fuck? Confessions.
I mean, they both. It's just purpose at that point, like, because it's just.
Both are classics. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Like, yeah.
And the fact that they try to. Well, no, I ain't going
there. Go there.
The Chris Brown thing.
Jason got it.
Yeah, I already knew.
That was just blasphemous.
Chris,
they tried to do
I love Chris, but nah, he need to sit down.
Yeah, just relax. It's levels. It's levels.
So y'all saying if there was a versus that happened today between Chris Brown and Usher, y'all taking Usher?
I'm taking. It's not gonna be a beat down, but yeah, I'm taking Usher.
I'm taking Usher, and it's gonna be a beat down.
Ooh.
I grew up on Usher. Like, come on, stop.
We grew up on both, technically.
No, I'm saying, like, okay, so I should say Usher was first. I'll say that. Because even when Chris Brown came out, like, I didn't like the Poppin' video. Not Poppin', excuse
Run
me.
It.
No, the one.
Excuse me, miss?
Yeah, I didn't like that video at first.
I got my first dance to that song. I'm gonna forever love Chris Brown that song.
I didn't like it at first. Run It was probably the first song that I liked when I heard it.
Chris Brown's debut album is probably better than Usher's debut album. When you start going down the line, you can start doing something like say goodbye, Poppin', Your Man Ain't Me.
This is crazy, but overall, like, we're not just going off the debut because.
I mean, you're right. You're right. You're going through the career. But you're right. But Jazz, we can talk about Miss Ellie, and we ain't talking about The Last of Us.
Right. So I will say we might have to do a special with music, just to see how that goes with the vibes, since we've been tapping into a lot of music discussions.
It's a music movie.
It is. So I'm definitely loving this energy for classics for sure. But so
which was Chris?
No, I was gonna say that's his sister actually in real life.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's dope.
Well, okay, let me say this: they have the same last name, so I would assume that's his sister. So I'll say that.
If it's Muscati, there is no other Muscatis ever in the world. They got to be related. It's just some things, just like, I know a woman named McJunkins. Ain't nobody else named McJunkins. I'm sorry. I ain't no more of them.
What's her name?
McJunkins.
Oh man,
my dad gonna be like, "Hey man,
like, calm down. I thought this is music."
I'm not gonna ask no questions, but one of the lines that Jabari's sister mentioned to him as they were talking about the situation between him and Meadow was, "Love is the easiest thing in the world when it happens by accident, but it doesn't get real until you do it on purpose." What did y'all like? What energy did y'all have from this line? What did y'all take away from this line? Like, when y'all heard this line in the film, like, what is the first thing that came to your mind?
Facebook status, Instagram status, Twitter status, Snapchat status. I sent some text messages. Like, yeah, I put that out there. Like, we need that in the world. That was a bar. That was a bar. Just for the whole. If everything led up to that one bar, that's it right there. Because until you actually doing it, like actually trying it, like you ain't really doing shit, boy. You playing?
You gotta have a purpose to it. Jason tried to log into his MySpace when he he said, "I gotta get this off everywhere."
I think Jazz actually I missed this the first time, maybe even the second time. Jazz is the one that put me up on this, and then when I went back through it, of course, when I'm watching for this, I'm like, oh shit,
Oh,
that's profound.
It was definitely a bar for sure, and it got him thinking. And then so we go to the scene of we have Meadow talking to her friend. We're at her art show, and she's outside welcoming. What's her friend's name again, Jason?
Karina.
And Karina ain't got the belly no more. Karina's like, I got my shoes on because the shoes were mentioned earlier in the movie. She's like, I'm ready to have a good time. And she's just asking Meadow, what's wrong? And Meadow's thinking to herself, like, I wonder if he's going to show up. And then Karina's like, well, did you invite him? And so it's just like, he knows about it, but I haven't spoke to him, but I'm hoping he shows up. And so during this scene, like, I felt that because I was just like, it's always moments where you just like, I hope this person does this. I don't expect them to do it, but it would be great. It would be so great if they did without me even saying anything. But that's just what I got from that. And so they went into the what you laughing at, Chris?
Laughing at Jason.
So that goes into choosing a person, like somebody actually choosing you, like they purposely choosing you, so they will do it anyway. So that's what I feel. And so the whole, like, because it was talking about his sister was talking about, like it doesn't count unless you do it on purpose, right? So like if you're choosing to be with this person, so her friend told her that you ask him to come, because like if you didn't, you can't be mad at him or you don't hold that against him because you didn't. But like if he's choosing her, and regardless of what they are, you know, she's expecting him to be there, and he was gonna do that because he cared about her, right? Type of thing. So that's more so what I was going.
Right. And then her friend definitely dropped some more lines. She was just like, everybody is out here looking for their person. And maybe Jabari is her person, maybe he isn't. But she's just like, Meadow, you have to be open and not to be closed off, because you can't expect somebody to walk into the home when the door is locked. So it's just like, you have to like be welcoming and putting yourself out there. And so like, I thought this script and this entire movie was dope all around. So many different elements in this that I thought was really good. And they were providing so many like things that you could relate to in life lessons for sure during this entire movie. And so we have Meadow. Well, actually, she's introduced by Kenya. He always jumping in his shit.
That's what made me look it up. I'm like, wait, that sounds like the Kenya guy. I'm like,
second movie this month of this man's.
Sound like you're becoming a fan.
No, we not. This was his best movie. Like, nah, you people, we already know how that was. Like that. But like Jason said, he didn't write this. He directed it, or
I think he. I feel like maybe he was the crew. Like he had the production company, had the people, the things to make it happen at Netflix. Kid Cudi had a creation or a thought, went to him, and they made it happen.
Okay, so
that's my thought. I don't believe that. I don't know if that's true. So don't beat me up, Kenya, if you see this at some point.
Just inform us. Let us know, and also tag us as well. Thank you.
He gonna be bruised as fuck. He gonna be bruised as fuck if he messes with me.
Look, either way.
Blackish fuck. No.
So all right. So he introduces Meadow, and Meadow starts to give her speech, and then in the middle of her speech, we see Jabari walk in, and she's just like, "Oh shit!" But she's just like, "I need to finish my speech." And did y'all feel like her speech started leading into more so in relation to what they had built and what had going on, of maybe her feelings towards it and why she may have reacted the way that she did with the stuff going on with Jabari?
It definitely did, because I don't feel like she had the words, so that's what she went to, the stuff, the situation between them two.
But do you think it would apply to her artwork? Because
both.
I guess
it goes to both, because she said it was like, it wasn't. She liked to catch a moment, take pictures, trying to capture this moment, and she's out not necessarily chasing that moment, but she wants to get back to that moment. But at times they run from it, and like that's what she did. Like so, it goes to running from whatever this situation was that feels too big. So just if we just talk about her career, this may feel like a big moment, and she was like I said. That's why I don't know if she was it because of Jabari that made her start missing stuff or what went on, but she was trying to getting away from this situation.
Right. Chris, what you think?
No, I agree with what Jason said.
Okay. And so she's giving her speech, and then she ends it with a joke because she's just like, all right, y'all, so I'm hungry. And then she tries to look for Jabari, and Jabari is gone. And so it takes her a few minutes. She's walking around this entire museum looking for him. And we see the scene cut to him running up on a billboard for McDonald's, and he has his spray can.
Mhm.
And so it's just going back and forth between these scenes where she's looking for him, he's spraying. I'm like, sis must have been looking for like 20, 30 minutes because that artwork he did, that was a lot.
Yeah.
So
that wasn't a quick thing he did.
Nah, and she was in heels. So I'm just like, sis, you better than me because he's my neighbor. Hell, 5 minutes, and I'm like, all right, he must have left. I'm gonna holler at him when I get back to the crib. But she was looking for him, and then I thought it was really dope when she came outside. You see him jump off the billboard, and you see the artwork that he made, and it was basically a message to her, the second best burger in town. And of course, that triggers the secret spot that they went to at the beginning of the movie on their first date. She jumps in a cab. Jabari's on his bike. Of course, she should get there before him. But then again, New York traffic be kind of crazy. So sometimes being on the bike, you get there faster. So, and then they start to have another montage flashback of different activities that they did earlier in the movie, of them going out, of them having a good time. And you see her face brighten up, and you see Jabari's face as well, to where it's just like, I'm not going to mess up this next opportunity. Like, hope is in both of their faces. She gets to the restaurant, he's not there, and she's just like, damn, that hope is gone. And then you hear a voice, you do not see him, and he's just like, what did he say? Damn, I don't remember exactly.
Some of this place got vegan burgers.
Right, it was something along those lines. And then nobody else is in there. Like, they ain't got no people. So do you think their food is that good?
I mean, it depends on where you at. And sometimes some little low key spots, they can stay as long as they stay running. Yeah, they doing something. Maybe a drill front though. I don't
know. Hey, we don't judge. Black owned businesses, we support the small companies. But they look at each other and they just run into each other's arms. They kiss, and it's just like fireworks, and they have a nice little flashback. And then they separate a little bit, and then you see them both say, hey, as if they didn't see each other last week. But it was cute. It was really good vibes. And the scene goes to the dating app. We hear on the radio the dating app that has been mentioned throughout this entire movie was actually a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Stealing people's money. And
of course.
Right. So it was funny because how they mentioned it briefly throughout this entire film. Mm-hmm. And this film was basically about two people that got together based off like nothing being set up, just fate. And so I thought that was definitely a good connection with that. And then we see a pan, and we have Dr. Ranger, and he's pointing at the picture of Virgil. And if anybody is watching the episode, we see that's Jason's background. Like, how did y'all feel about this ending scene of the movie?
I thought that was a nice, what do you call it?
Dedication?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. To Virgil, because a lot of it, with the influence and everything, then of course we know Kid Cudi's relationship to it. But I really like how they use Mr. Ranger to convey emotion, throughout the whole movie. So I thought that was a real dope touch at the end.
Yeah, I loved it. Enjoyed they did that. That was when they were talking to Jordan in downtown Pat when they were at the skate park. Jimmy had on like the green shirt and had Virgil written down it. I really
okay.
enjoyed that. But he also looked like Shaggy from Scooby Doo with that green shirt on like that. Yeah,
I
so
wonder if that's a
I love the
callback.
yeah, it had to be. But I love the different callbacks to different because they put a lot of Virgil pieces in here, like clothes and stuff that he's created or put together and stuff. So yeah, like I said, the fashion aspect of this movie was amazing. The images, the artistry, the animation, I really enjoyed it.
Right. And that is the end of the movie, gentlemen. Is there anything y'all wanted to add from our 6 chapters of Intergalactic?
No.
Think anything else?
Okay. What is y'all's Link of Thrones? Actually, I don't care. I'm going to go first.
It don't even matter.
It doesn't. So I am going to choose Macaulay Culkin. He was Downtown Pat, which is crazy as hell to me.
Yeah,
It was like, you sure? Because I was really hoping that was your Link of Thrones.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't look. I didn't look him. I looked him up as you were speaking.
Damn.
Jazz about to say, did you know this one was him?
Right.
She gonna run down the list.
So Downtown Pat was Macaulay Culkin, and Macaulay Culkin was in My Girl. Shout out to the bees.
So if Chris not going, I got Jessica Williams. This is Meadow. And I like how her and Kid Cudi, they carry Ty as well. Their characters look just like them, like the animation of them look just like them. And Jessica was in the Fantastic Beast, The Secrets of Dumbledore. That's like the Harry Potter spinoff.
Okay, cool. Mine is gonna be Lori Harrier. She played Carmen, and she was actually in BlacKkKlansman.
Nice.
I was tripping off Vanessa Hudgens being the best friend though. She was
wild. That was kind of wild when I looked at
that. No, what caught me off guard was Shade. I didn't even when I
looked
at who was in this.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You know our music?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just looking like, why wouldn't I know her?
every time we're on this fucking pod and I bring up an artist, y'all just be so shocked.
Well, she's kind of like, she's not like
she don't. I mean, she's not really. She didn't know.
You didn't know
it, so yeah, exactly. Like
I wouldn't expect.
But hold on. But when I bring up somebody's name, you asking me, oh, you know about them, my nigga? If I didn't, I wouldn't say their name.
Because I was curious. Like, oh, really?
Jason, when have I ever said an artist's name where I didn't know who that was?
I mean, that's what I'd be like. I gotta reassure myself. Like, wait, because he may say something. You might just be joking. Like, nah, I really don't know. I just.
When has that happened?
It don't matter. It don't gotta happen.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't happened.
It don't have to.
Oh, so you just ready for a reaction for something that's never happened? Got you.
Chris, you want to close us out, brother? Because this young lady is tripping over here.
Wait, Is there any agree to disagree for this?
Oh, we had a lot of it through this movie because y'all tripping on them remixes and mixes, but I don't have one beyond that.
Human nature is just better.
So I do have one briefly. Have y'all seen? Because by the time this airs, we already had 2 episodes of Snowfall. Have y'all seen the recent 2 episodes?
I haven't.
Okay, no problem. Did y'all finish last season?
We did. Mm-hmm. I did.
Okay, can we please do a agree to disagree on what we did for the Best Man final chapters on villain percentage? And you don't have to know what happened in this recent 2 episodes, but try to see if you can remember what happened at the end of the last season on a villain percentage between Franklin, Louis, and Reed. On a villain scale, what would you give those?
White man get 100%.
I was about to say it's Black History Month. Reed getting like
get 100%. 89. You get 100%, but I'm being realistic. 70% Reed, 20% Auntie, and 10% Franklin.
I would probably do 50, 40, 10, Reed, Franklin, and Auntie.
Oh.
I gotta go. Because with the Auntie, it was, she kind of pushed him into the street life. Like she backed him up behind all the stuff, and then she started being kind of like shysty. And the only reason she went against him was because she got shot behind the decision that he
Oh
made.
yeah, she did push him.
So let me change the parameters and just think of the
Of course she's gonna.
no.
He's literally a moving field goal post.
No, stop it. So the parameters are, if y'all remember how the last season ended, Franklin, all his money got taken. And y'all remember who took his money. And y'all remember how he reacted when, okay, briefly. Franklin was trying to get out the game. He found out Louis went behind his back, and now she's getting money from Reed. Reed takes all of Franklin's money after Franklin told him, I want out the game. Franklin reacts. Franklin is upset because he no longer has his $73 million. During just that exchange, do y'all think Franklin was warranted to take Louis' stash?
So we can't talk about him talking to Louis prior to?
When you say talking to Louis, what you mean?
He talked to Louis about all of that. Like
I know
the whole
he asked
situation
for
with Reed.
he asked for her help. Yeah, because he was like, Reed took my money and I need your help. And Louis was like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You can definitely incorporate that.
I'm definitely not. Louis got to get shot. Louis got to get out of here. And I know what happened to the real people, so yeah, she got to get out of here.
So you give Louis more of a percentage?
For sure. That's a fact. Cause like Louis was just a girlfriend at first that was looking to be bigger. She was the side person to the main lady. At first, she was just a side person. Franklin helped build her up to where she was, and she helped him in different positions. So like when I come back for that, so it's like it's one of them situations where when I've given help, okay, so that's entitlement, right? That's entitlement if I keep going with that situation. But like you would hope that the person that you were able to help or that you assisted, when you came back for that same love, it came back to you. And she just like, nah, bro, figure it out. That ain't on me. We done. And she took your plug and became you. Oh, you out of there. Yeah. I lost everything. I got a kid on the way. I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, I might switch. What? Who did I say? Tim. I said Louis Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch. She gets more than 10. I forgot season 1. That did happen. So but Reed's still getting the most.
Right. The reason why I asked that is because I was like, Louis was definitely wrong going behind Franklin's back. Point blank, period. But I feel like Reed should get the most of the blame because Louis told Franklin, I'm going straight to Reed to get my product. And then Franklin decided, I'm just going to get out the game. I'm going to take my money. I'm going to go raise my kid. I'm going to go do what I need to do. Reed took Franklin's money to have Franklin snap. And so I can definitely understand how it'd be like put majority of the blame on Louis. But imagine if Reed never took Franklin's money. Franklin will be out the game, gone. Louis in it. She's dealing with all that drama. And Franklin is just like, I'm out of this. I'm safe. My family is safe. I'm good. He wouldn't have snapped. But I feel like Reed is the one who set the fire, taking Franklin's money.
But it also goes back. It also, not to cut you off, Jazz, but it also goes back to that conversation when he said, this is the man that possibly disappeared my father. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make this situation work. So y'all need to get in line and listen, which that was a lot of ego, but he's the boss. So a lot of that it comes with the position. You have to be hard, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So within that he told them, you know who he is, what he's done. So we just trying to figure out a way out of it. But Louis figured out a way to get herself to cut him out and get deeper into it.
Right. Don't you think?
Not, but Reed is. I said Reed 70% though. So
right. I was gonna say, do you think, throwing devil's advocate, Louis kind of gave Franklin an out if his money did not get stolen? Imagine if Franklin's money did not get stolen at all. She basically took the position for.
Franklin. She for sure. She did that.
So I feel like it wouldn't have been as bad if Franklin's money was not taken.
But then Franklin had been backing her in a lot of different situations, and she was doing shicey stuff behind, from working with the police.
Right.
She was snitching. She had the guy from Winning Time shot.
Kanan.
No, not Kane. Kane. had Kane shot, and he didn't want that done. So he went and he's like, all right, so
Right.
we're gonna set all this street stuff the way it needs to be. And he went and told him like, hey, yeah, she the one that did that, bro.
Right. So I was just curious about y'all view on that. Nothing for the new season, but definitely something reference from the old season. But now we are in our snowfall season.
We in there, and
So,
Bel Air dropped as well.
this past Friday.
Yeah, no, actually no, it dropped on Thursday, but you got it.
Last week.
As well as Poker Face, they both drop same day. So whenever Poker Face drop, it drops.
Both on Peacock. You done? Are you done? Or are you finished? Right. Chris, close us out, please. Close us out.
Oh man, did we ask was it good though? We all agreed. Yeah, I figured we liked it, but I just thought I'd ask anyway.
It was fire. It was fire. Definitely a recommendation. One of the best rom-coms I've seen. Maybe, I mean, more romantic than comedy, but yeah, definitely a great.
Jason, you laughed during this movie? When you
laughed? I laughed. When did I laugh?
Yeah, Jason trying to push that rom-com. No, it was a wholesome romantic story. Like
I did laugh. I laughed at the vagina party.
And the laundry room story.
Yeah,
the laundry room.
Don't
then when he went about the Russian deportation, I thought about Nelson. Yeah, I definitely laughed.
All right, you trying to push that rom-com, but that's fine.
It was romantic comedy.
Speaking of Nelson, let me go ahead and throw this out there. You was right about Ant-Man. Fuck you though. That's all I got.
Okay. Shout out to Ant-Man. Our review. Listen to that, please. That was last week. But yeah, episode 38. Was it good though? Intergalactic, it was good. All the support. Yeah, this was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good episode too.
Good episode for sure.
I had to go find this candle meme. I'll post it. This is hilarious.
The what meme?
A candle meme.
Oh, well, y'all check that out on our page. I'm sure Jason will post it there. Y'all follow us. All right, y'all. Episode 38. We out.
Cheers.